Goodness. Sunday, April 2nd, and we are live on Myth Brigade, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Good.
Doing well.
Awesome.
Man,
back.
Why you guys are not sounding like a group of people who are just about to we're just about to see Monday arrive. All right. Happy to be here. It's been a long time, I think, since we played Vile Dawn. So thankfully, you guys are still around. That's helpful. These players. Gonna start out. Actually, I made some notes for this episode. This is episode 12. It feels like we played more episodes of Vile Dawn, but it's only episode 12.
I'm still for over a year now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's like a bi-monthly episode, something when it comes out in the averages, I guess.
Because I remember talking to you about it last time at Chaosium Con.
Were we booting it up then, or were we talking about the?
No, we were talking about stuff going on in the game.
Oh shit! Wow. Which, Tyler, that's a good segue to some announcements. We got 2,700 followers right at there. 2,700 followers on YouTube. 212 on Twitch, which means if you see this, you gotta follow us. I'm not sure what that does for you. It increments a counter on our side. That number gets real big, and I don't know. Big numbers are good. I guess unless it's your tax debt. MythBrigade.com has been unleashed upon the world. It's very small just yet, but at least it's there. We're going to be adding in some bios of all our players. At least of our GMs have got sort of formal bios, and I have written a GM's eye description of each of the players. So that'll be cool. Probably a little bit later in April. We also have a Patreon where you can support the channel more directly, because this shit does not happen for free. So if you are one of those supporting types, some people support athletics. Some people support, I don't know, their children. Support us. That would be great. Patreon.com/MythBrigade, or just go to MythBrigade.com and click the, I don't know, I think it says support us. So you just do that. And then there's going to be some special entitlements, Myth Brigade merch, some cheat sheets and GM aids that we've published over the years. So those will be out there for you. Finally, Chaosium Con, April 14th through the 16th in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and a lot of Myth Brigadiers are going to be there. We got Byron, we got Tyler. Who else is coming? We got Tara. We have Brent. Chantel is coming, of course. The ever
Shauna.
Yeah, Shauna. We got Bridget Jeffries from Chaosium community fame. So it's gonna be a hell of a ton.
He's actually the organized play director now.
Yeah.
She actually took that job as of yesterday.
That's amazing.
She's running Chaosium Con.
Oh, that's very good. That's good.
She's
she should
a
be
real
able
cool
to.
Kid now.
Yeah, she should be able to fix this hotel situation for me, because I waited too long, and looks like I'll be over at the Fairfield Inn all by my fucking lonesome self.
Well, if you're too drunk, we could just stuff you in the corner.
Yeah.
Or just shove it in the closet.
Yeah, just put me behind a plant in the lobby. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Just dry bathtub. Fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure his back would do great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, it would. So,
That website looks good, Jason.
thanks, man.
I really
yeah,
like how my dad's description is also your description.
is it live? Oh shit! It shouldn't be live. That page.
Yeah.
How'd you click on that?
It shouldn't.
If you scroll down and click about, you can see the whole cast. You see a bunch of.
Oh, it's in the footer. It's okay. Yeah, I'll have to
Yeah.
get it out of the footer. Sorry about that. It's just placeholder for now. Oh shit! Everyone should have the same description.
I found it and it's broken.
Yeah, that's good. That's why we have testers, ladies and gentlemen. You'll receive a bug bounty for finding that. This is my copious amounts of free time. And then finally, Eric, James, and I this weekend saw Honor Among Thieves, the Dungeons and Dragons movie. And I just wanted to ask, before we get into the cast what's ups real quick, James, Eric, what did you guys think of it?
It was awesome.
It was awesome. Was it like a 9 out of, say, 9.5 stars? Like what?
Like, just judging it as a movie, it's like an 8 out of 10. But if the movie has to be a D&D adaptation, it's 10 out of 10.
Well, shit. Eric, would you agree?
Sure, I would agree.
You're like, oh, sure, it's fine. Are we sponsored by Wizards? No, we're not sponsored by Wizards, and it's fine.
No, it was a fun movie. I had a great time. You know, and I can't say that for every movie I've seen lately.
Yeah, I'll say the shot of Jameson helped a lot.
I mean, you can compare it to the one from back in what, 99 or something. That was
No.
just
Oh, that with Marlon Wayans. Yeah, that was a bad situation. Like that was an accident that they let happen.
I feel bad for Jeremy Irons.
Yeah.
It looked like he had fun, and he probably cashed a big check for it.
That's true. Yeah.
A big check out of a low budget. Like, what you writing back there, James? You got a code window open. Can you zoom in?
No.
Figure out what he's doing.
Well, now you know what James does for a living. He hacks the internets. Okay, so let's go around real quick, and as I'm kind of trying to get I was taking a nap earlier, so I'm a little groggy just yet. Let's start with Eric. How the hell are you doing? Tell me something interesting you've done recently, because it's been long enough that you should have done at least one interesting thing, for God's sake.
One interesting thing. Well, I did go on a cruise to the Caribbean.
Oh, you're like a pirate.
Well, not that kind of cruise, but you know, it was cool. Got to go check out some foreign ports, and you know, the ones that we felt safe enough going ashore on and wandering around.
Did you visit any that you were like, nah, I'm not going there?
Yeah, actually we did. We visited one in Mexico, and they had a power outage, and so everything in the port was like, all the lights were off and there were no fans, and luckily it was March, so it's not too hot, you know, that far south. But some of the people that we were traveling with decided to go outside of the port, and you know, they had their opportunity to buy some drugs and hookers and things like that pushed on them, and not weed.
That's okay. That sort of
drugs.
sounds like the setup to a horror movie, if I'm being honest, like The Ruin. You know,
I
they go.
already like it. I definitely could see a Cthulhu adventure coming from that.
Yes. Hey, dude, write that
Yeah.
down. And,
Yeah.
one of the main
Probably
NPCs
would
could be
not have
Eric.
been totally terrible if there weren't like children with them, but you know.
Well, that's
Takes
better.
your kids
'cause,
there.
Yeah, these days you can kill kids in movies, so it'll be fine. You know. Yeah, awesome. Well, I'm glad you made it back, and that you weren't swept away in some sort of horrible bomb cyclone or some other nonsense like that. Mordred, James, how are you, man?
Doing great. Things are going well.
One interesting thing that you've done in the time that has elapsed since we did the last episode.
Nothing. I'm just a totally boring guy.
At least you own it. I mean, you know, at least
You
you
saw
own it.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
That doesn't count. We already talked about that. Here we
He had to
go.
leave his house.
Yeah, no, that's true. He doesn't leave that chair. Actually, he's all we zoomed him into the movie.
Like Professor X.
Yeah.
He actually can't walk.
Nice. Very cool. Byron, I know you've got all kinds of news, but what do you want to share, man? Welcome.
I saw them get ready to fire up a Delta Green campaign at a local game store.
Nice.
Picked up this phenomenal book that you can't see, but it's called Impossible Landscapes for Delta Green. Going to be running that soon. Of course, Tyler and I are writing some stuff to run at Chaosium Con, so we'll be bringing some.
Hopefully, we'll have at least two brand new games.
At least two brand new games to run.
Some old ones.
Yep. Some old ones we dug up. Been doing a lot of painting and assembly and stuff like that. You can't see it due to my background, but I got a host of got some commission work going on right now, painting. I got another one today, so
that's pretty awesome. How many commissions do you like? How many pieces in an average commission? Are you doing like entire armies or?
I try to stay real small. I don't do like armies and stuff. The only exception to that would be like Tyler's bolt action. That's the only stuff I commission paint like on a large scale. Because historicals are a lot easier to commission paint on a large scale than like Warhammer Fantasy or something like that.
Yeah.
Other than that, I like to stick to like character models and small skirmish stuff.
Nice. I was gonna say because I've got an entire box of Space Marines that it wouldn't hurt my feelings if they got painted before I died.
Yeah.
I'll bring them to Michigan, man. You can mule them back.
I was gonna tell you you could bring them to Michigan if you wanted to. I didn't know about transport, but yeah, you can bring them.
Yeah, they'll probably get claimed in the security. Like, awesome,
They'll
Garrett.
probably get smashed.
How are you doing, man? You got a different background going on. You were showing us a painting of a werewolf, which is pretty amazing. That's pretty cool. So what's going on?
Well, a lot of stuff. Bought a tractor. That was a weird story. Maybe I'll tell you sometime. The neighbor just came up and goes, "Hey, I got a tractor." I'm like, "Awesome, I need one."
That was right. So this just random dude just shows up. He's like, "Ding dong, hi, I have a tractor." Like, who does that?
Yeah, so my wife's like, "Oh, the neighbor's out working on his property right next to us." We originally thought that was part of our property because the property maps down here are weird and they don't match up. Well, anyway, so I went and talked to him. Was talking to him about his thing, and like 2 nights later, he just shows up and goes, "I got a buddy that's got a brand new Kubota. It's got less than 16 hours on it, and he was selling it for a lot less than way less than what you get it from the store." So that was a bonus for us. And then I was looking at some campaign stuff, and one of my friends pointed out that there's one that's kind of eldritch horror called Old Gods of Appalachia.
Oh yeah.
So I was thinking maybe getting that because that's where I'm at.
So you freak yourself out. You gonna run it on the stream?
Yeah. Maybe I think so. Like I said, I got a lot of repairs to do. I want to make sure that the roof doesn't leak again.
Well, I mean, if I'm being honest, if it's a stormy night, a leaky roof would just add to the scare
true.
value, you know.
Yeah, like whether or not the house is gonna fall down in the holler.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. As long as we're having a good time.
Nice.
You just watch the pillars behind me.
Put a tarp over your computer, stuff like that, so it doesn't mess with tech.
Yeah. But there's another one called what is it? It's similar to that, but it's something hollers, and it takes place in Kentucky and West Virginia. And it's another one of the kind of eldritch horror ones. So
I think it's just called Holler, isn't it?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's right. Hollers.
That's the one you're looking at.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, do it, man. Let us know. We'd love to have you run on the stream, and I'd absolutely could get you an army to play. So, last but not least, Tyler, welcome back. It's been a real long time since. So what's been going on with you, man?
I quit my terrible job, and I've just been relaxing the past week or so.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's got to be.
That's about it. It's
all right.
Very nice.
You guys ready to play some Savage Worlds?
It's the first time I've been jobless in over 8 years.
8. Wow. God.
Technically, you're hired. You just haven't started. You're not really jobless.
But when you have that, I had the pleasure of taking a sabbatical a couple of years back, and it's amazing when you just wake up and you have
taking
nothing.
Almost 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks, just doing nothing, hanging out,
growing hair.
Yeah,
you're always doing that. All right, guys, let's get into this thing. Are you ready?
I hate it because all my hair falls out.
Okay.
Everyone's jealous of my luscious locks.
So in episode 11, just for the quick recap, you guys were having some wings on wing night. It's your favorite greasy spoon. When this sinister voice sort of came from all of the speakers in the room. Apparently, Dr. Ignatius Vile had a little something to say. Something about he was watching you and he pitied the filth and blah, blah, blah. But the Cliff Notes were that he somehow released a hero. Does anybody remember that hero's name?
Tungsten.
Yeah, his name was Tungsten. And so he came sort of flying in like a comet, smashing into the airport, where, of course, you proceeded to battle for a very long time. Who remembers how it ended?
It ended with science.
I wish I could play Herbie Hancock.
Like the
I remember
very end?
Mordred trying to smash a crystal and killing a man.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, you definitely helped with that.
It was
Yeah, you pulled one out and left a hole.
And we threw some chemicals on him.
Yeah, so you'll remember that his behavior was clearly the product of some sort of devices that were attached to his brain, these strange crystals that were in these sockets that had been sort of wired into his brain, allowing him to be controlled, apparently, or brainwashed or something. And, of course, Red Rocket pulled one of those crystals out.
The big one.
Yeah, and Tungsten died. So it's been about 4 days. The story finds us back at your headquarters. Mike Gundy, your new friend, is there and will have been able to disseminate what information he has. You will have had 4 days to kind of lay low and do some things. You're sitting at a card table. Remember, this is a big warehouse that you guys occupy as your stronghold. You're building up little sections of it. The common room is still kind of this grubby break room, right? It's got one of those old industrial coffee makers and like 70s Art Deco shaped chairs, kind of, 70s green and orange. It's just kind of a gnarly little room. But you're sitting around a table. What game are you playing to while away the time whilst it rains and thunders and lightning's outside?
Poker.
Did you just say hooker? Oh, I was like,
I'm down for that.
so you're playing poker. Fantastic. Who else playing poker? All of you?
Yeah.
How's the Spectral Avenger doing that?
I'm not.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would end up marking the cards.
Yeah, I
Makes
guess.
it easier to read.
Well, we have them in plastic sleeves.
All right. So, how about Mike?
I mean, yeah, he's got nothing to gamble with. A couple bullets. So,
There you go. So you're gambling for
just shell casings.
yeah. There you go.
He's not exactly wealthy. Bottle caps.
I got
And-
Lego blocks.
I have like old, worn-out dog toys,
That's just random junk.
like
probably-
like random like ratchets that I'm just
Yeah.
keeping like my little like backpack. Like, like my service dog vest has like little nuts and bolts in it and wires. And there's like a worn-out dog toy.
So, what about rockets? Are you playing with your robot arms?
Hell yeah!
Okay.
I probably have this is probably like a step stool next to a chair that has like some books on it. And I'm kind of like my back paws are on the chair, and like on my front paws are on the table.
I
And I'm
think
playing
there's
with my robot arms.
there's like a dog bowl with some Pabst Blue Ribbon that Mike's poured in there. You know.
Oh yeah.
So you're going around. Let's have some gambling rolls for those of you who are playing.
Is that a skill?
Yeah,
sure.
it's gonna be a -4, -D4,
If you
D4
don't have
-2.
it, it's D4 -2. Yes, that's going to be.
7 on my wild die.
Ooh.
Jeez, Mordred.
Wow. Wait, where's hang on, I gotta get to the bottom of the chat
Rocket.
this long.
Rocket.
Of course.
The wild
Of
die.
course, Mordred.
No, that's Mordred's fighting role, sir.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yep.
That's because that's the only way he knows how to do anything.
Yeah, he just takes his sword out.
Punches through the table.
Yeah.
He's like roll a repair roll in the car.
I was just making sure my script injection was working at the start there.
Nice. So you Rocket, you win. Obviously this and this is like 3 hands worth of cards. It's starting to get pretty frustrating. Especially for Gundy, maybe sort of thinking like, I mean, you've been in a
You're
lot
losing to a dog.
a lot of card games.
I think he's spending most of his time just staring and fiddling with that gun that he's never seen before.
Oh, the big old the big rifle thing.
Yeah, the thing that gives him an erection.
Yeah. All right.
That's Viagra. It's in his nightstand
in gun form.
in the bottom left drawer.
So you guys, I'll give you an opportunity to ask whatever questions you need to from the prior session. So you had some information to share. I think you had some odds and ends that you picked up. Gundy, it's a Voidcaster, isn't it? That thing that you grabbed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's scary. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, give me if you're looking at that, let's have a repair roll. Or if you don't have it, you can do smarts.
Oh, I do. That's one of the few things I do have.
Oh, nice. So, yes, it's a 9 natural. Okay, so you're looking at that. You take it apart down to what you believe is sort of this capsule that houses the fuel source, which is again more of this strange crystal. Based on what you see, it has limited charges, but it recharges itself, right? So it's essentially like a clip that drains, and then it has to, kind of recharge. But if you're right, between you and Rocket, I'm going to assume, because he's sort of the weird scientist here, this thing opens up a portal, and you're not entirely sure to where. But whatever is there, so if half a person is there, then whatever that portal, when it opens, half the person's going through, and it may or may not take all of them. Maybe could be used constructively if you could predict where the portal was going to, but it doesn't seem like you can.
So, if I may, very early on, we were saving a little girl at a soccer game, and a portal opened in the sky. Is it similar to that portal?
Yeah, I'm gonna say so. I think you'd be able to sort that out. Similar in that it's a sort of a tear in the fabric,
Like
of
the way
space-time.
it tears time and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll learn construction, but not maybe destination.
Yeah, give me a science roll. Jesus, dog snoring. Oh, just barely.
I'm gonna spend a penny.
Okay.
I can do better than that.
Remind me, how many do we start with?
3.
Very
Unless
normally.
you
Okay, I
have
guess
edges.
I can't do better than that.
So this device in particular, okay, so you figured out a couple of things, because remember, you've been analyzing the motorhome, right?
Yeah.
That had that portal generator thing. It's essentially a focused dimensional travel device. These are, it would seem, just out into nothing. Like there's the sort of tuning mechanism that exists in the motorhome does not exist in this, so it almost be just like out into space or something.
Do we replicate that tuning system?
You could try, but that would be one hell of a project for your weird science endeavors between sessions.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, we'll put a pin in that.
And who are you going to get to test it?
I don't even know if I can do it yet. So we'll come to that bridge when we cross it. So we were doing more research on the crystals. I believe there's some sort of like nanite or something like that,
Yes.
if I remember.
Yes.
Could we find a way? So I know they recharge themselves, you said. Could we find a way to power them off? before we disable them.
So,
Or like jam the signal, man.
yeah, so the connection to signal, so there, it's fairly complex. So these things are interwoven. So essentially one can sense another with these sympathetic vibrations. The resonance of the crystal is where the power comes from. And that can be amplified by sort of, creating a resonant frequency through them. I think we decided, Blocks, right, that the Faraday cage would cut off the system, right?
Yes.
Or a Faraday bag. That would cut off the transmission. But the crystals themselves, you see no clear way to turn them off without destroying them.
Do like the Star Trek thing and like, reverse the polarity or something.
You smoking in my lab is not helpful.
Sorry, dude.
He's got like he's got a pack of Newports rolled up in his sleeve.
Yeah, but he takes the tobacco out, mixes it with like hash, and then puts it back.
Right on. And he's
he's doing dip and smoking.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
All his cigarettes are stained with like.
Yes. But there's no spit cans around him.
Does anyone else have any other questions? I know Mike had broke into some warehouse. We were talking about going there, or at least investigating that. He broke into some vial board warehouse.
Yep, that's where he got the odds and ends that he had from, right?
Yep. I don't know if there was much left in there after I left, but that would be a GM decision whether or not I looted it all or if there's still stuff behind.
I would say the workspace that you were in, you got what was there. You're not entirely certain what else may have been
like
there.
Hidden rooms or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
The Mordred, you received an email talking about, unfortunately, your claims for your business insurance are not going to be processed because of the malicious actors and yada yada, system compromised kind of thing. We're working as quickly as possible to restore our claim system, but for now, we're unfortunately not going to be able to kind of. Very cordial letter. It looks
My
like
really old lawyers in the UK aren't doing a shitty job.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Do you expect any different? That's what you get for not doing it in America.
Blocks, what are you up to in the interleaving time?
I'm probably working on some scientific things.
What
Not
specifically?
exactly sure.
Okay.
Probably that cell phone communication device, trying to get it to put out a signal and stuff like that.
How so? What are you trying to give me an exact outcome you're looking for, and then let's make a dice roll.
Trying to see if like I could clone it, like you would a phone. See if I could get another device to work the same, or something like that.
If you had the fittings for the crystal, because remember there's a little crystal thingy on there. If you had that equipment, if you succeed, then yes, I will allow you to clone it. But you need to get the parts from somewhere. So go ahead and give your science roll. Otherwise, it's an idea that you find plausible, but we'll see if you're ready to take it on or not. Yeah, you are. So you figured this out, and the thing is, it's so simple. You're not sure what the code that's executing on this sort of sidecar device is, but they've not put much thought into protecting it from replication. So you're able to just move it over almost like a little container. You don't know what it does to the point where you're an expert on it, but yes, you do think you can copy it to a new device, and you're aware of the parts you would need, but you don't have them.
Right. Is there a way to scrounge any of those parts off of like the old RV fittings and stuff like that? Is it some of those same technologies that they already used in the other parts?
Yes, although some of the connections, you could cannibalize it. You could. You'd need a repair roll. And failure means you damage the parts to the point of unusability, and failure or success means you can't get the RV back up and running until you get replacement parts.
Yeah, I don't got repair, so that's going to be unskilled if I do that.
Whose RV are you touching?
Yeah. By the way, Gundy, they've got this like dilapidated RV that looks like a rhino ran through it. I think it was a rhino or something.
I
like
think
that.
it was a hippo.
A hippo.
It was a hippo.
Kind of like my bedroom window.
Yeah.
No worse.
Yeah. So what do you guys try
I don't
to?
feel so bad.
You guys try to take it apart?
Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna try it.
Okay. You gonna do it by yourself, or you gonna let Gundy do it? You're a repair expert.
I'll probably get him involved if I could get him to do it. I'll buy like a can of Skull or something, and a 40 ounce of like iron steel beer.
Yes, that is amazing. So you come back from the
that
convenience.
malt liquor.
Yeah, come back from the convenience store, and he knows your number
Case of
already.
Boone's
Well,
Farm.
actually, I have to send somebody to the convenience store because I'm only 15, so I can't buy it myself.
Get your Uber.
Yeah. Well, no, I can't go buy it myself. I'm not old enough.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Mordred would have to buy it.
He's definitely old enough.
You don't look old enough. You look like you're 16, kid.
You let's give it a roll, Mr. Gundy. Let's see if you can jury rig this. If you get a raise, something special will happen.
Don't mess it up, or you got to sleep in the back of the garage.
You want to?
Good lord.
You spend
How
a
many can
penny.
you use?
Okay.
One, that's it, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can spend a penny once to reroll. So you get it. It's a success. And with blocks and Red Rocket, they're helping science things for you. But the fittings are not right. So what you've created is an incredibly fragile. Picture if you put wires together and barely just kind of a teeny little bit of tape sort of thing. Like it's not gonna travel well. But how do
I
you
get back to my trailer. I got a junk pile. I can get some parts to fix this up.
Yeah. And could you wear something other than that stained wife beater when you come to like work? That'd be awesome.
Man, I'm getting shamed by kids.
You don't have to leave the grease on your cargo pants for days at a time.
Yeah.
You know what incognito means?
I mean, if it was
You're
grease,
not that.
if it was grease from like an engine repair or something, that's cool. But KFC,
The bucket of chicken.
bucket of chicken grease doesn't qualify.
All right.
So you guys you're there, and Gundy, you're throwing back some Pabst or whatever the hell, 40. You guys are kind of a little buzzy. This reminds you, Donovan, of the days back when you had the ability to enjoy the mortal things, like actually taste and smell and all these things. Speaking of smell, Rocket, you're there in the break room. And Gundy's there, and he's explaining what he's.
I have high sense of smell too.
Oh, okay. So you both smell a faint smell of like BO, like you smell it, but it's not you, not your brand.
I actually don't smell. That's the weird part.
He smells like Brute.
I got news for you. That's just because you're nose blind.
So you
I'm gonna start to follow the sun.
I'm doing the same thing he is.
Yeah.
Like on my all fours, walking around like a dog.
Somebody rip one.
Donovan, give me a notice roll.
Oh, something smells different.
Why does that come through for me? I see that it came
Got a
through
10 on the wild.
10 on the wild.
10
Oh
on
my
the-
goodness. So you notice as they're kind of looking around and like, oh, what's the smell or whatever. All of you are those of you especially who have any sort of danger sense are starting to feel very much on edge. Donovan, you notice the outline. It's almost like what you would expect from in the movie The Predator, right? That sort of slight distortion in the air with the vague outline of a fairly athletic male. It's not moving. there in the hallway. So you kind of got that little break room. There's a short hallway where all like the employee posters are, you know, like the workman's comp posters and all that sort of stuff. It's standing there by the double doors that swing out into the main warehouse.
We have a visitor. I approach it.
So he says that, and then float. What do you float through the door or something? Because you're looking at it in the window of the door, so you just kind of float out.
Yeah, I'll go through the door.
Okay. The rest of you, what do you do?
Get up, follow him, go see what's up.
Yeah, go downstairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab my shotgun.
Who the hell would show up here?
So as you move, Donovan not so much, but the rest of you as you come through, Donovan, you notice the form shimmer, and it sort of blinks out of existence for a moment. Just and there's just a slight distortion, like a ripple in the air. Then all of you could probably pick up on that, just kind of like this sound. And then you go through the swinging doors out into the main warehouse. Donovan, give me a notice roll. There are numerous sources with similar
I'm gonna
makeup.
lock down my lab.
Okay, so
And
you're
press my little,
so you're like
emergency button that closes the hatch that like seals it.
yeah. There you go. Okay.
So I am going to kind of walk over. Do you remember we had those boxes of like spray cans and stuff that we were using to put like graffiti on the walls?
Yeah.
And stuff when we originally took this place over. I'm gonna grab a couple cans of like pink and blue and shit like that because I have a feeling we
love
might
that.
have to paint some motherfuckers to be able to see them here.
Okay.
Where's Stacy at?
So yeah, you Stacy, which is explain what that stands for once more.
What did I tell you? It was
It's in the Discord somewhere.
yeah.
It's the name of your vehicle, right?
Yep. It's the here we go. It's the special operations tactical assault carrier, and then in practice it's surface nautical and aero with so it's -3, so it's STAC-3, and I just call it Stacy.
And probably Mike Gundy doesn't realize it's an acronym. He's just like, oh,
Yeah.
that's Stacy.
You
It's
really
Stacy.
are
Yeah.
lonely.
I have my pets. Shut up.
So there are numerous sources as you step out. And Donovan, you're the first to notice them. I would assume that the rest of you are you're going to need a notice check as well. They're very difficult, so it's going to be at -2 for those of you who are not ghosts.
That was a 19.
Oh, Red
Is it,
Rocket. Yeah, there you go.
11.
Sight or smell based? Either one of those help?
Smell would help, I would say. It would negate the
Okay.
penalty.
Because that gives me a plus.
That would put me at a
2 for smell.
21. Smell based.
Oh yeah, you smell. You
I got a
smell.
9 even with a -2.
Someone is wearing Savage. You smell
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, the
going.
Johnny Depp. Yeah, exactly. And you also smell some secret solid for women. It's the pink kind. Your mom used to wear it. There are numerous people in here. You
Yeah,
cannot
I immediately
yeah.
locked down my lab to make sure nobody can go in there.
Okay, so the bad thing about this is they're present, and they're kind of big ass warehouse, right? So just kind of just picture about 9, 10, but they are as they move, you have to kind of redetect them all over again. You couldn't possibly.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Once the lab is closed, it's not getting open, even if somebody's in there. So like that's.
Got it.
I don't give a shit if they're down there.
And here
I mean, that's a whole nother problem.
So they're blinking in and out. Is that
Yeah,
what it is?
so
The smell
it's-
goes away,
it's-
comes back, goes away.
Yeah, that's how they seem to be able to move. So they'll over here, and they also have a very advanced sort of like stealth camouflage sort of thing going on.
Because the
Wow.
last thing we need is for what little bits of crystal we have to disappear.
Sorry, guys. I'm gonna summon a gigantic swarm of gnats.
How do you go about manifesting that, Mike?
I don't see. He's on all fours, like sniffing, like Red Rocket is right
Mhm.
now, and he just kind of starts to lift his legs, like now, and then he just kind of grunts, and then they start coming out of everywhere.
Awesome. Yeah. So you start doing that.
Kind of like coming out of his nose and mouth too.
Yeah. Like sort of Green Mile and
Yeah.
okay. So there's this sudden, just absolute swarm of these things. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I suit up.
Okay.
I tried to mind control 2 of them.
Okay.
Woo!
Okay. So give me. We'll take your mind control roll. And that's
So the gnats are just so I can try to see them, like shimmer, that kind of thing, like fog.
Yep.
We might not see them, but we'll see the empty space they're
Right.
in.
Yeah. Or the gnats getting moved and pissed off.
Yeah.
Fruit
It's annoying
flies.
as
Ugh.
all these little fucking bugs are.
Yeah. It's like fruit flies, stink bugs, those little Japanese ladybugs.
As long as you're not doing like hair mites or anything, I can ruin my coat of fur.
Don't get on my bad side.
What's
Fleas are
what's
my
the roll
friends.
to resist?
It's an opposed smarts roll.
And you're doing
If
2
I'm
of
in the
them.
form of Swedes, you're gonna be sleeping on a lawn.
Okay.
You ever been drug across an ocean at Mach 2?
Well, now that you mention it.
They're coming through. There we go. Okay, one of them no. Can you do 2 targets?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Total of 2. That's my limit.
Oh, the other one. What was your? Here's the 7. I need the second one. Shit. Okay. So you reach out with your mind, and you detect a decidedly feminine presence. Both are very sharp intellects and
Whoa.
hyper focused, and the other is a very male presence. What do you attempt to have them do?
Reveal yourself and state your purpose.
So at this moment, just as you were about to say that, this one's blinking out, appears right in front of Block's girl. The gnats all around you displace suddenly, and then the armor, the sort of shimmers and is very visible. So what you see, can I show you that in Roll20 without a nightmare? Is basically like sort of like a carbon fiber armor with all sorts of bizarre circuitry on it. And they're sort of full visor armed. And we've come here to secure this location, says the man. The woman comes into appearance kind of off in the midst of this gnat field, and you can see her and several other. It works like a champ. The sort of lights are these big pan lights up in the ceiling, you know, in the warehouse, kind of shining down. You can see them kind of flying around all crazy, and it basically negates the penalty to be able to see them.
You said one appeared right in front of me.
Yes, like, and he appears and says to you, apparently, he's like, "We've come here to secure this location." You have no idea what he's just done.
You said he has like electronics and stuff all over him, right?
He does, yes.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull out my fucking taser and hit him with it because I'm sure he's not gonna like that. His electronics are not gonna like a burst of fucking electricity.
Personal
Okay.
space, bitch.
Yeah.
Personal space, motherfucker.
Oh, working title for the episode: Personal Space, bitch. Let's have a fighting roll, please. And you're against his parry.
Yeah, you can eat that one. Don't bother to roll.
What your, oh,
Lost Girl's pissed.
oh my God, yeah. So
I got a spray can in one hand and a taser in the other.
yeah. So he's there with his just some kind of energy weapon, right? And it's humming, and you push right past it into this sort of center apparatus, and you can't see the expression on his face, but absolutely you see a spark kind of go poof out of his power pack on his back, and he staggers backward. Somebody roll a d6.
I'm gonna guess you have a pretty short fuse.
All right, so he does not fire his plasma weapon on accident. He staggers backward. The other, the woman, becomes visible right in the middle of sort of an open area. She's not right there on top of you, but she becomes visible and says out to the open air, "We're here to secure this location." And then she's like, "Why did I just say that? What am I?" She's looking down, very confused, like, "What have I done?" What else do you do with the mind control there?
Tell us who sent you.
Okay. The rest of you, are you trying to do anything else to this poor guy you just tased?
Yeah, I'm gonna spray paint him with pink Krylon.
And then I'm gonna zoom across the room and sweep his fucking legs.
Like if he's wearing, he said he's wearing some sort of visor, right?
Yeah. He's got a
Oh, yeah.
like a helmet on.
I'm spray painting his windshield with fucking pink Krylon.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
like the brand. I use that for Sally
Yeah.
or Stacy.
So it was Stacy.
Yeah, Stacy.
You can't remember her own name.
No, I had 2 working ideas. That was the one I was.
Nice.
Like athletics maybe for that.
Yes. Actually, you could take fighting.
I'll spend a binning.
Okay.
Same roll. Fuck.
Well, you frost him with it a little, and it's kind of funny. He sort of staggers back, and then you just like, and he kind of waves his hand. And he's like, "Bitch, get off me!" He says. And you kind of like pushing back. You say state your purpose. Does anybody in Red Rocket at this point? You're kind of flying past. I'm gonna need a fighting roll from you as well.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
And actually, yeah, he's like, "Bitch, get it!" And you're reaching in to spray his face, and Rocket comes just and knocks him down.
Sweep his fucking legs, just like whack.
Yeah, and down he goes. Although at that speed, Rocket, it almost causes you to catapult across the room, right? Because you kind of wrap your arm around, and you're like, "Ding!" All of the sources drop their stealth. They're about
similar.
There are about 15 of them in this room, and it occurs to you, Mordred, you've been kind of analyzing. Let's have a notice check.
All right. Nothing.
Yeah, you're too caught up in the moment. And I think the rest of you are kind of in the midst of it. Gundy, what are you going to do?
How similar is that armor to that advanced ballistic weave I wear?
Same. You would say probably the same material. Similar material. Although it's got some fancy gadgetry in it. And since you're studying it, give me a notice check as well.
I was going to say, does it look vile?
Does it say Biocorp? Because everybody else who's worn it, it says.
No.
That's a good question.
Wait,
You noticed the shit out of it.
yeah. I was going to say, if it's site based, then add 2 to that as well.
So in a slightly different texture on the sleeve of the arm, right? So you've got like the sort of that nano weave type fabric, and then in a slightly different texture, it says FBI, and they've got these matte badges on their breast of the armor. And
I don't know which one I hate worse, the FBI or
Or Biocorp.
That literally say that out loud.
You the one basically kind of calls out a little bit louder, and he's like, "All right, that's enough of this." You hear from the speaker in the
Are
helmet.
you gonna bring in the ATF too?
Get on the ground.
Did I get my command off first?
Yeah. Which one are you saying that to?
Both of the 2 I had under control. I was telling
One
them.
that's now
Okay.
lying on the ground.
Yeah, tell us who sent you. Yeah, one of them's being attacked.
Okay, so he's on the ground. He just got swept, and the woman, he and the woman who is armored. You're aware she's female because you're in her brain, but she's there and she starts talking, and he starts talking at the same time, and both of them say so. Like she says, "We're with the Federal Bureau of Investigations. You are being investigated," and he's like, "Oh, Federal Bureau of Investigations." So apparently they're
They're just slightly off.
Yeah, they're
off
just
synchronization.
exactly.
Like it.
What do you do?
Shouldn't you dickbags have a warrant?
When does that stop the FBI?
Right now.
I suggest you watch your mouth. Drop that weapon.
I get that a lot. But I hate to tell you, but
Drop the fucking weapon.
I don't have a weapon.
Drop the can of Krylon.
So so the one there's one kind of right in your face. They're all shouting. There's at this point they're all kind of moving in.
Yeah.
It's looking. You hear a bunch of these weapons kind of charging up like it's about to get real. And then Rocket and Gundy, you have smell and hearing, or just smell?
Smell and sight.
Okay.
I have smell and hearing.
Yep. So, oh wow, you guys are like Terrible duo. You hear the sort of distant thump, 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 thump. Sounds like a helicopter.
I think their boss is coming. Somebody's coming here in a helicopter.
You zip over and look in the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of ignoring the other guy.
You just kind of between them. Yeah. And they, interestingly, they don't, except for the robot arms, you get some kind of strange looks. And they're kind of, hey, what are you doing? And a couple of them fold in behind you as you get to the door, and they're there with their weapons behind you. You look and you can see this.
Are they like all piled up behind me?
No, not so much. I mean, a couple of them could sort of pull in, but no, they're not in a big like cluster or anything like that.
So they're all visible now.
Yes.
So I'll make the gnats go away.
Yeah, there's a couple that are like, it's just getting in his
Well,
breathing
they're not
apparatus.
all go away, but most of them.
And then I look up and to the helicopter.
It is against the sort of rainy night sky. It's very difficult to see. No lights. You can just barely make out the shape of it as it's coming in. Drop the weapons and get on the ground.
I'm already on.
You
the
guys
ground.
should just probably relax.
Yeah.
Like don't piss off Mordred. He's in a surprisingly relaxed mood for you invading our home. So just chill out.
Nobody said anything about a fucking talking dog. What the hell is this? I don't know. Round them up. Hey, Rover, get back over there with your friends.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, he says.
And I prance out onto the fucking like tarmac towards the helicopter.
You prance out in the pouring rain.
So how many?
Okay.
You said they all kind of swarmed around me.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Well, not
So that's
all
what
of them. No, they're
No,
moving
sure,
it
yeah,
around.
large. More than one, right?
Yes.
All right. So if more than one are around me, I'm going to do my ensnare ability, which can go up to a large blast template. So around me.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna like lock all their hands together with Legos, like just.
So you're there, and they're kind of ready with their guns and whatnot, and they're on high alert, and this happens. Give me a spirit roll, and let's see if they how they react, how their leader reacts to that.
Be a 5 on the wild die.
No, there it is. So, yeah, he shoots you, or at least tries. So let's see. As this happens, just as you're sort of snaring him, he's got his arms together. These things come up on him, and he squeezes a shot off. I'm going to give him -2. This is more a reflexive thing, like, oh shit, why have I been shot at?
So large blast timer is 6 squares in every direction. So
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's all of them.
Yes,
but...
it is a lot of them, actually.
I'm gonna sit on the mini fridge with my shotgun up against the wall, drinking a beer.
Hang on. Forgot to do the skills for those guys. My bad. So let's do this. Oops. Duh. Roll. Yeah. So you have been shot with a.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Oh no, I'm sorry. Sorry. I said there was a penalty there. I'm sorry. So no. So this plasma bolt sears right past you, and I mean you can feel the heat of it. You smell it, sizzles your hair as it streaks past. And
Somebody didn't spend enough time at the gun range.
just as he falls. Yeah. So you have disabled about half of them. Meanwhile, Rocket, you're kind of prancing out into the rain as this helicopter lands. You see the side door open. It's one of these sort of more executive style helicopters, right?
Can I fucking help you?
So you come running up, and the first thing you see in the dark is like the cherry of a cigarette kind of flaring up. In there is a very dissatisfied looking man. He's probably in his mid-50s. He has some sort of weird little augmetic bits here or there on his face. You're not sure what that's about. And wears this kind of strange collar around his neck.
Oh, I have one of those too.
Shut the fuck up, mutt, he says. He just walks past you in the rain. He pulls his collar up, you know.
I'm gonna like look in the helicopter.
There's a pilot there. He's sitting in the chair, as pilots will. He's co-pilot, and there's two of these guys. They're not cloaked or anything. They're just sort of sitting in the chairs, like waiting to deploy.
I guess I'll follow this guy.
So you kind of turn. You notice he doesn't even look back at you. Like he's not the least bit concerned. He's just kind of just walking up. The rest of you he takes a step up to the doorway though, this big roller door, and just looks around at the scene. a bunch of his best restrained with Legos. Some of you, I assume, are complying, or no? You're just all
no. I'm just standing there looking at them.
Okay.
I'm sitting on the mini fridge I got next to Stacy, and
none of us are complying.
Drinking a beer and going, "This is excessive force, man. You didn't even try to de-escalate."
Look at all of you. Look like a bunch of 10-thumb monkeys trying to thread a needle with a horse dick. He steps in and puts his...
Yeah.
See, look at you. Even your boss hates you.
Half of your elite team is fucked up. So, I mean, what's that say about you as a shitty-ass leader?
I tried to be nice outside.
Aren't you supposed to be babysitting somewhere, girly?
Well, you'd be the babysitter if I was the child. I'm not sure how your fucking level of education works, but I'm going to guess maybe 7th grade in a really small fucking town. You recognize this guy?
Hey!
You recognize...
The fuck, man?
You recognize this guy? Is he the one that fucked your sister?
Creative. I don't have time for the back and forth with you. What I'm here to tell you is that this facility is now the property of the United States government. You're unwelcome. You are now trespassing. You can talk shit if you want, and we'll turn it into a crater. Am I making myself clear, you little bitch?
No, I'm a little confused on the part where you're going to actually be able to do that.
Do you want to try me?
I mean, if you want to, Grandpa.
I see. Call in the backup. Torch the place. I thought we'd have a conversation.
No, you didn't.
You didn't walk in here real fucking talkative,
Come here for a
motherfucker.
conversation at all. Have you tried email, maybe Facebook, perhaps maybe a phone call? You know,
Has
like
it occurred to
those are-
you that you're a bunch of vigilante terrorists and that everywhere you go, you leave a trail of dead bodies, including law enforcement, behind?
Well, I mean, you guys should be
Has it
better at
occurred
your
to you the
jobs.
number of people that haven't died because we go to these places?
This is
I'm
my
sure it
first
has.
day in here. Who are you saying we?
Because you
Mr.
guys
Gundy.
did such a good job taking care of the bank situation.
My team
Yeah,
is
that was
not
all under
involved with the
control
bank
before we went
situation.
there.
My team has become involved because, in part, of your exploits. I came to secure this facility and have a conversation. But if you're going to be disrespectful, that conversation's not going to work out in your favor. You're
I got
welcome
bad
to
news for
continue
you.
the charade.
Disrespect is all I got, Pops.
There
Perhaps
are-
we should all listen to what the man has to say.
There are prisons that are built for your type. I see your cute little Lego tricks, but believe you me, there are ways to stop it.
Have you ever stepped on a Lego? Really fucking hurts.
He hit one side of his lip kind of curls up in what may either be a prostate cramp or a smile. You're not sure.
I'm gonna bet with number one.
Yeah, probably.
All right, what you got, man? What you want?
What I'd like to do is have you pay me a visit downtown, but I wanted to come and see this place for myself first. See, you've been making some obvious renovations, and when the power usage starts to crank up on the meter, it sort of trips some interest. The landlord, from whom you have apparently, well, the former crime family or something that this place belongs to, seems a little bit upset about the more recent developments.
Well, he's more than welcome to file a complaint right next to yours.
She's not a real talkative person. I tried to have a conversation with you outside that was productive, and you kind of just continue to storm in here, and now you have to deal with her. She's a pain.
Great.
Kind of aside to Mordred, I thought we bought the place.
Yeah, we own the place.
Who'd you buy the place from?
real estate agency.
It said that old lady that
Remember this situation with the AI and records?
There was a bunch of drugs going on down here.
Is there a coffee pot in this place?
Well, upstairs. Take a left and then a right and then a left.
I'll
But
just wave.
careful, because I think Gundy spits in it, so it could be coffee.
Why would I waste the tobacco?
Let's sit down.
He doesn't spit.
Let's sit down and have a conversation. How about that? Just as he walks past, there's a little bit of an undertone of some mechanical movement, like maybe there's some parts, like some augmentation, maybe.
I let go of my 2 meat puppets.
Okay. The one girl was still talking about how she started working for the FBI. She was going way deep on her explanation.
Just like I lied on a polygraph, I somehow passed, and like.
So you know, he walks up the stairs in the little kind of box office area, and walks in and looks around at some of the things that you've done. Kicks a chair out. Walks over to the coffee pot and proceeds to, like, you know, he's got those like the old, and they're probably from like the 80s or something. They're those little just vacuum sealed packages or whatever.
I'll follow.
So we seem to have a problem here in Freedom City. I'm hoping you can tell me something about it.
All right.
I thought you were the one that does the investigation. Like, don't you already have the answer?
Yeah. My investigation just began, and interestingly enough, it took me approximately 3 days to figure out exactly where you were and get your backgrounds. So yeah,
Cool. And it took us all of 5 minutes to subdue half of your squad. So maybe you should get better.
Perhaps it did. That's one of the things I was here to evaluate. You should consider yourself lucky. My man.
You should too. You should too, because only part of our team engaged you.
I didn't do anything.
I only swept one man's ankle.
It looked like that if it started, it would involve just killing everybody, and that didn't seem like a good idea.
What? You actually have a conscience?
Funny. Are you familiar with the term enemy of the state?
Yes.
Because that's what all of
I've
you have been
been one.
labeled as.
Wasn't that a 90s movie?
It's really cool.
So this is like, you know, modern day. You're not supposed to put labels on people. I hate to tell you that.
I'm sorry. Don't wanna hurt your feelings.
However,
I'm not I'm not responsible for the classification of you as such. I came here to see what it is that you're getting yourselves up to, because despite the fact that you leave terror and death in your wake, it does seem as if you're aligned against something that is causing.
I mean, next time a superhero falls into an airport, we'll just happen not to go help those people.
I
We're
suppose
such
The
terrible
sarcasm.
people.
I do.
Perhaps the sarcasm is misplaced, and we should help this gentleman understand what's been going on, since most of the terror and mayhem that we've left in our wake has been caused by other people.
I do suppose the
We've actually
city.
tried to stop the terror and mayhem. That's kind of like what we do.
I do suppose the city owes you a debt of gratitude, but there are many who wouldn't see it that way. If you just watch the news from a different perspective, what you'll find is that you appear to be terrorists.
I haven't trusted the media since the 80s.
When was the last time that you tried to use the internet or a banking system?
15 minutes ago.
Yeah. How did
I
that
don't
work?
have either of those things.
How did that work out for you?
Pretty good, actually.
I bet it did. Bank balances, interestingly, are not registering correctly, so banks are very quickly running out of actual money. There are numerous problems with the financial system, and we are teetering on the edge of collapse. All thanks in
Sounds
part.
like a government bailout.
Nice. You're testing my patience. I would ask that you stop, or I'm going to leave and turn this place into a crater.
We're good. We're good. We're good.
You can smell the cheap coffee starting to percolate behind him as he's kind of sat down now, pleasantly waiting.
All right, so let's restart this conversation. How about the first thing we do is agree to talk respectfully to each other. And you first apologize for rolling in here like a fucking nut dragging dickhead and not knocking at the door. Once we get past that, I'll possibly apologize for treating you like an insignificant piece of shit.
Well, I would apologize.
Even though it is actually what I should treat you like.
I will apologize for my lieutenant not following orders closely enough to get the situation under control. Perhaps they came too far in. However, I have no reason to respect you. You have not earned my respect. And so, one more fucking word out of your juvenile mouth, and this conversation is over before it began. He is stone cold serious.
I don't want to be in a crater, so let's just go with it.
I'd probably live.
To be fair, I probably could too, but
I'd probably just outrun you.
I'm already dead.
I mean,
Picture all these little bubbles in the comic book, right? All these little.
I mean, my entire form being made out of Legos was created in a fucking crater. So like,
You're not going to nuke the whole tri-state area, so you're not going to hit me.
all right, let's not go with hypotheticals here.
Yep. We're off the page.
Are we quite finished?
I'm so sorry to have disrespected you, sir.
What I'm offering you is a chance at exoneration for the various crimes that some of you are on the hook for, and perhaps a resolution to some of the problems that are plaguing Freedom City, and now more broadly, the London Stock Exchange, if you happen to see the news, has crashed. All of its supporting systems are throwing strange errors. Some of them are playing pornography videos where they would normally report financial results. And all the while, heroes are beginning to return. As you saw.
Fucked up like tungsten there.
Heroes are jacked up, lobotomized freaks.
Is there a difference? He looks at his eyes kind of pass on you. He snaps his fingers, and one of the like in the movies, right, where there's like this guy standing off to the side as if he was waiting to pull up an iPad, like that's his job. He's the iPad guy. Pulls up a tablet, turns it around to you, and the guy kind of, there's a video there. This was video taken at the scene of a particular research facility. Mr. Gundy, I believe you're familiar. He hits play, and there's footage of you traipsing around, picking stuff up. That's not the scary part. A short while later, he slides as a swipes over to another video. Here, while you were defending the good people of Freedom City and their travel plans, this was going on. And you see this giant, just brick house of a not even, it doesn't look like a human, it looks more like a troll. He's just bristling with muscle, and his face is just this huge gape, like kind of like pretty Hulk teeth, though, not like claw or fangs. Give me common knowledge roll. So Red Rocket, you didn't read this comic, you don't know. Those of you who succeed though. No. Spectral Avenger, I think, knows the most about him. So he's sort of like, is that? So this guy's name is Howard the Unstoppable Behemoth. That's his working name. Picklestein. He's it was all-star quarterback, or I'm sorry, an all-star linebacker before whatever chemical reaction happened that caused him to have a hormone imbalance, and he just grew into this huge behemoth. But he became a hero. He was famous for turning football moves into his capturing combat moves.
I'm sensing a pattern here.
He smashes a hole in the wall. He smashes a hole in the wall. Kind of comes walking through, picks up a computer, it's this sort of like ultra thin monitor, and just kind of throws it off to the side. It's like he's looking for something in particular. smashes through another wall.
Does he also have crystals in his head?
Yes, he does. It's hard to see in the grainy video, but as you kind of look, there's the same array in his head. The good news is,
sorry,
as he swipes over, this is another camera room. You see him coming through, and then you see this flash suddenly of it's like this just thin, maybe 22-year-old African American guy. He's got kind of like nice hair, real clean cut kind of guy. He's dressed in this red, tight-fitting leather thing with this like atom situation going on. And he kind of comes in, and you see him look around, and before your eyes, he splits into 6 versions of himself. And just starts rummaging around. Like each individual is rummaging around. Like they all are independent of one another. An alarm goes off or something, because they all suddenly start looking up, and there's a flash of light on the wall. Gundy's thinking, I saw that tripwire. But then at some point something happens, and it seems like there's a malfunction, and that hulking beast just sort of falls over. Adams, the individual copies of this guy kind of glance down at him. It's like they have a moment to consider, and then they just haul ass with their search. Whatever these heroes are doing, upon their return, they're gathering technology, it seems. Their targets are very specific. The airport, one of the objects that was in the cargo container of the plane that was attacked, is actually a top secret piece of military equipment that was being Delta dashed from lab to lab. Quite a violation of quality control, I'm sure you'll note. But nonetheless, you avoided them retrieving it. I need you to find these heroes. It's like they're being weaponized somehow. Some mind control device.
Did you notice the crystals in their heads?
Yes. The behemoth was recovered. He is in our custody. I would welcome you to have a conversation with him. He's quite a delight. He laughs.
I kind of like perk up.
We're not certain exactly what or who is behind the situation, but all roads sort of seem to lead back to Ignatius Vile. We have a team of analysts looking at traffic on the internet. There is an entire bot network. It's like a growing neural net of him, as if he may have uploaded his consciousness and is copying it across the entire world's computing networks. To what end, I don't know, but he does seem to, well, he seems to know where our heroes went. And if you could find that answer before he's able to mind control them all, then we might actually be able to recover. We might actually be able to recruit some of them for good purposes rather than ill. I guess in a long story short, I need your help.
I think we should share whatever information we've gathered.
You don't have that amount of time on your hands right this second. I have a lot to go over and a lot of ideas to test.
Of course not right this second.
I can provide you with support. I can provide you with troops. Please hold your sarcastic comments about their prowess. It's not every day that they go up against a mutant who can sling Legos.
I thought they were impressive.
The guy with they put the iPad down, kind of like, he's like, cool. I'd like you to meet in our facility in downtown. We have the behemoth restrained there, and whatever malfunction occurred has caused him to be devoid of his motor skills. So you'll be safe. We also believe that there may be another research facility on their list of possible attack points. It's a facility whose purpose was to to further research neural interlinks and artificial intelligence. Seems pretty ironic, eh?
It's the Skynet lab.
Seems like stuff Burnfinger would be interested in.
Actually, I was gonna say Burnfinger.
Yeah.
I still have like the serial numbers and stuff like that. Of like, I think I still have the body of the like surrogate child he made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the parts and yeah, the bits and bobs.
I have a lot of little things from each thing we've done still to research.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I've all had a lot of weird shit laying around here. You know that?
There's like crunched up beer cans laying next to some of it. Just like...
Seems like we could help each other.
That's the idea. You'll pardon our entrance, but again, I had to be sure. You've not exactly been the darling of the media lately.
Maybe in the future we should care more about what the media thinks.
And you're like the cell phone throws. You should perhaps get this young lady some PR training. He smirks.
But it don't matter. The legacy media is owned by the government and the FBI anyway.
Probably too much work for that shrub we picked up at the diner the other day.
Yeah, didn't we get that guy? We get that guy from the BW3s?
Yeah.
But we haven't done anything with him.
Yeah, he's at college right now too. He takes night classes. He's at the community college right now. But yeah, you have a social media guy.
Yeah, we need to work with him. Get some stuff rolling on the internet.
You help me. I can set the record straight on your intents. Align perceptions more with reality, I suppose.
Sounds fair to me.
All right. We'll wrap up here. 9 a.m. downtown at this address. He puts down this sort of little wafer card with a sort of RFID in it. He stands up. I think I'll skip the coffee. You can smell it. Smells just like so stale and gross. It's like
it smells like my old MRE coffees.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'll drink it.
I'm sure you will.
He goes walking
Lick
down.
your own butt. Shut up.
That is true.
It still tastes
funny.
better than that bullshit.
He makes his way out with his couple escorts, and the rest at this point, I'm assuming, blocks that you dropped the restraints, or did you leave them all there, all restrained?
I left them all restrained. That's why we came over here to talk.
Okay, I think there's probably a couple who have aced their roles to escape at some point, but some of them are still. So you kind of release them. And
make sure you all hug your families when you get home tonight. You don't know how lucky you were.
He really means that.
It really means that. Make sure you hug your family.
I'm sure you've seen the videos of him murdering people. I don't know why you just decided to roll in here all like, oh, we own the place.
I love that you guys are kind of standing up on the stairway and they're gathering up their, they're leaving, and you're just like taunting them.
Yeah, rubbing salt.
Yeah. They all leave. And ultimately, the helicopter flies off. The others are kind of heading out in the transport that was apparently parked not far away.
So when they're leaving, I'm gonna see if I can. I'll pass it over to Rocket. I'm like, Rocket, put this Apple iTag in one of their like bags, so that I want to know where they're going.
Okay.
Just like put it in the pocket of a jacket or something like that.
You gonna try? How are you gonna pull that off, Rocket?
I don't know. I barely have hands, so
robot clamps.
I got this. I'm gonna
Like,
have
I'll give it to Gundy. Yeah,
the seagulls from outside. I put it in one of their claws and just have them swarm them as they're flying out and stick it to one of them.
oh, I like it.
Getting shit on by seagulls, and
Okay.
if not them, then the helicopter. So
Wait.
it could actually like.
So
Oh, dude, that would have really sucked, dude, if they were flying with a helicopter and they had a bird strike.
Oh, what do you mean? I was thinking about doing a fucking cyclone to the helicopter.
So most of them are pretty on guard and moving. But the one guy
Irritated?
whose armor is absolutely damaged from the angle that she hit with the taser. It was like that
And it's-
perfect chink in
and
the
it's-
armor.
His visor's pink.
Yeah, it's pink
Yeah,
crap.
and he's got a pink stripe across his helmet, kind of thing.
Fingernail scratches across it so you can try to see.
Yeah. So give me a stealth roll.
Oh,
At
shit.
let's assume we'll use your stealth. That's fine.
Mine?
Yeah, that's fine.
Not a bird's. Okay.
No. Well, unless you have that stat handy, and then we can use the birds. That's fine. Well, doesn't matter either way. You succeeded. So these birds fly in. What's that look like with that poor guy? He's like he's got his visor's up, and it's like the pink stripe. He's kind of walking along.
So he walks out. He's got he scraped some of the paint off to smeared it some off to kind of see, but then the birds start shitting from above him. And the
like
seagull
slide in.
poo gets right on that thing. So as soon as he goes to lift it up again, a couple of them are like landing on his shoulders.
Yeah, he's
one
like
of 'em-
batting at him, and
Yeah,
his
and one of them just kind of drops it into the damaged spot in the back.
Okay, yeah. So you get the
And
air
then I walk
tag.
out I'm like, shoot, get, and then they all kind of fly off before the helicopter takes off.
Fucking birds, man.
Stop leaving trash everywhere, people.
Yeah, so he walks off completely unaware of this air tag that's now been placed on him. Although, if I went with the very specifics, let me see, roll a d6. A 1 or a 2, he's got an iPhone.
T6.
It's an iPhone 60.
Oh.
Okay. No, he's got some kind of.
Oh, okay.
He's got a Pixel 93.
He's an Android guy.
Yeah. He's an Android guy, which is good. Although I'm sure they have AirPod or air, whatever the fuck that thing's called, tag detection. But yeah, an iPhone will be like, hey, there's a tracking device near you. But yeah, anyway, so it's fine. He has no idea, and so off he goes into his. You open up the Find My Tag app thing, and you happily watch him drive across drive in their transport, ironically to the location you're going to.
Okay, so that's why I wanted to verify if they were going there.
To a large parking facility that appears to be next to it. So, all right. Anything else you guys have in mind? So first thing you're thinking is we need to upgrade our security because we just got these big warehouse doors. We should probably look at that. But what else you guys do this evening?
I'm gonna gather up a little smattering of weird stuff, like one of the crystals, like the cell phone, and some other stuff like that, and put it in like a little Faraday box.
Okay.
I'll give him that dip can with my crystal in it.
I take it like it's gross, like
It's empty except for the crystal. Like, well, and maybe a little.
So-
Yeah, what about?
Still
Right
still
next to
smells
the
like
doors.
Copenhagen.
Yeah, right next to the doors or whatever, I'm gonna like get paint cans, and I'm gonna put like a small something that'll make them heat up, like it'll heat up like a heat gun or something that'll turn on like if you flick the switch, and then I'm gonna put like a Google outlet so it'll like turn on the heat gun or whatever.
Okay.
And so that way if like somebody
MacGyver some contraption.
I'm gonna MacGyver some contraptions so like if somebody comes in invisible next time we could just like fucking blow up the paint cans.
Nice.
If you used a charged capacitor, it might help a little bit better with the instant release.
Oh yeah, I'll get Gundy to help me fucking fabric.
So like I picture Mordred standing off to the side with his arms crossed and just
Throw
watching.
some paint in the fire suppression system and
Yeah.
I am the security.
Yeah, watching the three nerds just do all this crazy stuff.
But they can play with paint cans all night now.
Well, at some point, I got to go back and feed the animals
gonna finish this poker game or not.
after the poker game.
Rocket already won anyway.
Run one more hand.
I need to have a couple more beers, otherwise I feel self-conscious when I drive home.
I love it. I love this guy so much. With this big ass mullet.
Ooh,
Damn. So Rocket
might not win that one.
Yeah, no. It's looking like Mordred.
Oh, Gundy.
Yep.
It's a final showdown.
Yep.
Looks like Gundy won.
So I
You
think
got
it's
two in a while, but-
you guys are out, and it's like I'm out, and Rocket's like, ah, fuck this, and it's down to Gundy and Mordred. Both of you guys do a roll off, and let's see. It's like that, you're just staring each other down. Mordred's got his visor up, so you can't see his facial expression.
Like I can't imagine why he wanted to play poker. The 3,000 years he's been alive, he's fucking learned how to count cards and shit.
I've been around a while. I just didn't learn how to count them.
So Gundy gets you. You're expecting, you're like, stop, come, show me. And then, yeah, so.
He still has to roll.
Wait, I thought he did. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Whoa! So.
Saved by the wild die.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go with my luck on that one.
It's that moment where you're quite convinced that you've got him, Mordred. And then he flays it out. It's like a royal flush.
Yeah,
And he's just
Mordred's to my flaw of unlucky.
yeah.
And I've actually got the lucky trait, so it kind of worked out there.
And he probably says something along the lines of, I'm from Appalachia. And they're
Yeah.
like, we always do everything on the river.
Oh man.
It's
So
like you grew up next to me, man.
all right. So let me see if you can see this. Well, if Roll20 will load it. I think maybe it's having multiple copies of Roll20 open because I've got a copy in one browser to show the stream, and I've got my copy, and I think it doesn't like that. Maybe. Oh well, it's like super slow. Okay, so you go back to the trailer, Mike.
Well, yeah, I gotta feed the animals. Well, the ones that can't feed themselves. At least.
Do you fly Stacy?
I drive her.
You drive her, okay.
I'm not. I tried to stay incognito until these turds showed up.
What do you see if I hit that? Just out of curiosity, nothing apparently.
The map.
Nothing.
Okay.
I still see the map.
Well, yeah, I know that. That's not what I was hoping for. I was hoping I could flash Mike Gundy's picture up because it just cracks me up. And Roll20. Like, is there a button?
Oh yeah, if you screen share, it'll mess up the mapping on it.
It will. But actually, it should show my view to you guys when I click it. I don't know. We'll give Roll20 a second. Maybe it's just being a bastard. Okay, so what do you guys do for the evening? So you go feed your animals, Mike. You pick anything up?
I'll change since I'm not hiding in a seedy motel anymore.
Okay. So you get your other denim vest.
I think I'm gonna go with the flannel.
His
The
Canadian
flannels.
tuxedo.
Yeah.
The formal tank top.
Yeah.
He's got a tank top with a collar on it.
I'm gonna mute
Oh,
myself
I'm gonna
and
have
let
to invent that one now.
I'm gonna mute myself for
So-
2 minutes. You guys want to take a quick nature break because Archer
Yeah, that's great.
is literally stabbing me in the underarm with his nose, asking me to get out. So we'll
I was
be
gonna say
right
he
back.
was trying
guys.
to eat the coaster earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I need to get a potty break image up. That's amazing.
Oh, I like the hold music.
Did you see the picture I picked?
No, it didn't pop up.
Let's see if I can. I think I posted it last time we played, but I'll throw it in here again.
You could probably throw it in Discord. I don't know if we all have it open. I still have it open.
Yeah, there we go. the other one.
Oh wow.
The other one that I was gonna go with, but he liked that one better. It was this one.
have a feeling that guy's gonna get some demerits on his thing for getting taken out by a 15-year-old with a taser and a fucking can of Corona.
Well, I mean, what? I mean, normies. You can't expect too much from normies.
I was thinking to myself too. I was like, why do I always have the taser? This is the dumbest piece of equipment.
It worked great.
Didn't I try to tase you when you first came in through the window? I think I did.
I think so. But it didn't work because I was like a hippo.
Yeah.
Plastic hippo at that. Oh, okay, everybody. I don't think Roll20 is going to do what I thought it would do. Will you stop it, bro?
Your camera's still covered.
Oh, cool. So my dog he's now 112 pounds. He's 10 months old, just tail into 10 months old. And so when he wants attention, he throws his nose under your arm and just does that. And he likes to do it, especially in the morning when you're drinking your coffee.
Oh, yeah, lovely.
Mother. Yeah. Sorry about that. He seems to be better now. Okay, so the what's your Rocket on your cell phone? What's your alarm sound?
Excuse me.
Probably the Kibbles and Bits soundtrack.
Sausages.
In a blanket, sausages.
Yeah.
Peanut butter. Peanut butter.
Yes.
Or the pepperoni.
Yeah.
Bacon,
Probably
bacon,
something
bacon,
like
bacon,
that.
bacon.
So the
Some
next-
dog treat, like.
No, it's like who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
He's a happy dog, isn't it? So you wake up to that, and you come trotting out. Mordred is whatever bedroom he's in. Gundy is sprawled out across your little IKEA couch, beer cans around him. He got home pretty late, it looks like. What animal came back with you, Gundy?
Let's see. I think the Ravens are back home, so I'll say it's 2 wolves.
And so you come walking in, and these 2 wolves, as you walk in, I mean, they're obviously a little bigger than the corgi. Both of them bristle all of a sudden. Mike, you wake up to your wolves like, and kind of.
Easy, Fenrir. Easy.
Rocket, what do you do? So they kind of obviously are very defensively postured and kind of on flanking him. He's kind of kicking beer cans out of the way as he wakes up.
I avoid that area.
You just make a
Pretty
wide
clearly.
berth. Okay.
Why?
Yeah,
I just picture we're like all meeting in like that little room, like the meeting room or whatever.
Yeah.
And I get this picture that Block's girl's probably wearing like one of Mordred's t-shirts. Her hair is like up in like pink bow around her thing, and then she's probably wearing like a pair of fucking lounge.
Oh,
Yeah.
We lost Byron.
Oh,
She's
there.
trying to put the toaster strudel in a toaster.
nice. Okay.
I say one of those wolves I was using like a pillow.
Yeah. So these dogs, you notice they're watching Rocket like, what is that thing? At first they're not sure how to take him, and then he makes a wide berth and his robot arms are kind of moving around or whatever. They both are very, very ill at ease. For now, anyway. Maybe they become friends. Do you go over and sniff their crotches or anything?
No, fuck no. Not right now. Those are wild animals. Nope.
Nice. Okay. You guys, what do? You get up and get ready, have your toaster strudels.
Try to get to that place on time.
I gotta have some hair of the dog that bit me.
Yes, you have it. Yeah, so it's the last Pabst in the 24 pack. You're just like, oh man.
As a 30. As a dirty 30.
I'm probably like, oh, go ahead.
I would put on a fresh suit, except that,
It would be fresh as soon as you put it on.
That would be gross.
And to be fair, his clothes are clean this time. They're not covered in gross stuff.
Yeah,
It's just flannel, and like the khaki combat pants and.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, Alexa, add strawberry toaster strudels to my bullseye tart, please.
It's like
And a 30-pack of Paps.
I can't buy beer. I'm only 15.
Yeah.
Add a 50-pound bag of kibbles and bits.
Did we have to find a new bullseye to shop at after the incident, the first one?
Yeah, it's still closed for remodeling.
Oh man!
After all that was done there, all the murder that happened there.
If I gotta deal with the co-op, I can get dog feed pretty cheap.
So do you take
Maybe
Stacy?
we can get it from Bill's Club.
There you go.
It's not gravy train though.
That's
Just add some water.
Yeah. Then if you just mush it around a little, it'll sort of be like gravy train. So do you take Stacy down, or do you take public transport? What do you do?
Yeah, I'll drive her.
Okay.
She just looks like a dog catcher truck.
Yeah.
So, driver.
And those, of course, those who have ridden in it are aware that the inside is like hyper teched out. It's not at all like you're like holy.
Yeah.
And,
It's also spotless on the inside. Like you can't find like one animal hair, one speck of dust. The whole inside is like absolutely spotless.
So you drive. It's a little bit of
Biggest I've ever seen you.
a little
That was
rush
like
hour.
that when Blocks Girl ran it last time. She just probably didn't notice because we were flying really fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll ride with Gundy again.
Okay. So you guys drive in, trying not to make a scene. Traffic's kind of gnarly. It's rush hour as you're coming in,
This is what you guys normally sit through? Jesus.
and you ride and ride. Ultimately, making your way downtown, you find the
Making my way downtown.
yeah. There's a basically it's kind of right next to the courthouse. There is a FBI building there, and the parking garage. You're kind of looking. There's like a very large sort of modern looking concrete building with just a ramp going down with security there. You're guessing that's probably where they came from. And there's a public parking garage just a couple blocks away that you're able to park Stacy in without a problem. Make your way into the building.
Do I need a parallel parking track?
Yeah, you want to do that? Yeah, let's do that. That'd be great. Go ahead and give me the roll since you brought it up.
Yeah, it's made for like a minivan, and I squeeze into it. No, it's way.
Yeah, you do, and it's literally like
Got
there's
like a 10-foot ceiling. He's like 9.5 foot tall.
Yeah.
Like I literally have to roll down the window and like turn into butterflies to fly out
to
the
get
window,
out
so
exactly.
that
Right.
the door won't open.
You have to come out the driver's door.
Yeah. You get out as you attract a few looks, you might say, as you walk down. Think of just a typical downtown area with a bunch of corporate types
I
going.
kind of like hide my arms.
So the thing that you notice is here downtown there are like protests going on, little pockets of people with signs saying it's the end of the world. There's a guy there with like a ruffled suit on, and he's kind of out there screaming, they took it all away. The AI is going to take over. And he's just like, oh, never, kind of, that sort of vibe. It's not.
He's
mass
probably right as we walk past.
It's not mass chaos, but you also notice a few other things. There are a couple of stores that are closed as you're walking along, like like the little bodegas and things are just closed.
Oh man, that was my favorite liquor store.
Things are not great. You notice that the parking meters, a lot of them are out here on the street, are actually out of order, and people are parked haphazardly. It's just a growing sense of like disarray as opposed to what Freedom City might have been.
I think we arrive and get out of Stacy, kind of like how the Ghostbusters arrive in the first movie, where like they just get out and it's like, that's right, folks. We got to work on our social media presence. You know what I
I'm
mean?
the only one that has a positive reputation.
Yeah, no, that's true. You guys have,
Well, like,
yeah.
I walk on the sidewalk with my hands in my pocket, my collar up, hat down, sunglasses on.
Yeah. So you kind of almost just seem like a guy who happens to be walking with these terrorists
just
or heroes or whatever.
Just a regular person right now.
Are you dressed, Mordor? Are you dressed in a suit?
No.
Fuck that. Okay, fine. Don't get mad. It's okay. I'm not telling you what you got to wear. I was asking.
No, he's got like a poet's shirt and a tunic. You know, it's from like.
Oh my God! Do you have
hundreds.
puffy sleeves on?
No, just some old band T-shirt from like the 1980s.
Okay.
Jeans and shoes.
Okay, good.
I saw them play once, man. That was great.
Crocus. It's Crocus. Very cool.
It's Goblin Riot.
Oh yeah, right.
Goblin Riot. Yeah.
Okay, so you make your way up to the door. So it's like probably about a dozen stairs going up to this sort of large revolving door. You make your way in. It's a very sort of Spartan, kind of marble floors and these white, very structural kind of furnishings off to the side. In a sitting room or sitting area. I mean, there's it would be probably a monitor that meant to play TV for people who might be waiting, but it is not working. And then there's this big half moon kind of reception desk and the huge FBI logo on the front. As you're walking in, excuse me, sir. It's a cute, young, very professional woman. You can't bring a dog in. Is that a service animal?
Yes, she is, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am, but you're legally not allowed to ask if it's a service animal.
I love that he brings that up every time. Well, you're not supposed to bring animals in here. So.
Yeah, I'm a service dog.
It's my
somebody
emotional support dog.
Somebody roll 1d4
because he answers.
Somebody roll 1d4.
Oh, I'll roll again. 6.
Okay.
She's actually a fan.
You're Red Rocket. I should have known from the arms. Oh man.
Yeah, I don't think the fact that it says Red Rocket on the side of his vest and the fact that he's wearing a red beret would give it away.
She just kind of looks at you on the side of his vest, right?
Yeah.
Can I help you? Do you have an appointment? She says.
Yeah, it's probably somewhere there on your clipboard.
I'm sorry. It's just she walks kind of back around the desk, like out of shock. She's.
It's probably under like Saviors of Freedom City or something like that.
Gundy, Mark Gundy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I do have. No. This. I'm sorry. Let me just correct this. You were just referenced as and their dog. Sorry. So she's Mr. Gundy.
Was I the dog? Because
if you just have a seat over there, Agent Grimes will be right with you.
Do you want a picture?
Agent who?
Grimes. So she actually
vending machines.
No, not for public use.
Like a picture?
I'm not the public.
You don't get the FBI snacks.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, there's limited snacks. This is the last working vending machines in Freedom City. Roll for persuasion, Red Rocket. Let's see.
I'm offering if she wants to take a picture.
And
9.
She's like, let's just make it quick. And she pulls out her cell phone.
I'll take the picture for her.
She hands you her cell phone.
Don't let Black Girl do it.
Give me a Will you shut the shush? Stop yelling at me. Give me a smarts. Smarts. Yeah, give me a smarts roll, Gundy.
See if I can take a picture. Oh, for me do a smarts?
Yep.
Okay.
So you go to open the camera app, but you notice like the phone is glitching out. Like so many phones around here have been glitching out, and
mine's a flip phone.
Yeah, as you bring this app up, it starts to kind of convert to the camera. but you notice the little privacy icon comes on, indicating that there's an outbound connection on the phone. As you're starting to take the picture, you snap the picture. It looks great. It's like a proper photo filter kind of thing. The dog. What's really weird though is he smiles, right? So it's kind of like, you know.
Is it? So it's. I see it's like somebody's pulling these pictures off.
Yeah.
So I flip it over, and I. And then I hand her back her phone. I was like, "You can delete that last one," but someone is reading that.
She takes it and seems kind of confused and looks at it. Okay, and just sort of gives you one of those like, all right, whatever. And she sneaks back around the desk and kind of straightens out her suit top.
And I go back over and sit down and read a 2-year-old Bass Pro that's sitting on the waiting table.
Yeah. So you sit. It's not very long.
I toss Gundy over a old highlights magazine. I said, maybe you should start something at your reading level.
You hurt me, dear lady. You hurt me.
I just kind of get up on the couch and
Yeah, so you get up and kind of curl up there. There's one other guy there. He's in a suit. He's got a briefcase. Looks kind of like a lawyer or something. You don't know, but he seems a little bothered by your situation. You know, as he's watching.
What are you here for, Slick?
Meeting with a client. You're those guys from the airport?
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, you know, you probably get into a lot of discussions about the lateral damage of your exploits, right?
Oh, Jesus. And I pull out a cigarette and start smoking.
The funeral costs are outrageous.
Well, right. Hey, let me give you a card. You don't mind? I mean, I can help you navigate the legal system. I mean, I'm sure you probably do just well enough, but you know, hey, you never know. I could probably minimize some of that burden.
Probably no worse than my current attorneys.
So do you take Legos, ectoplasm, dog toys, maybe like sword cuts or Steel City beer cans as payment? Because otherwise, your retainer is probably a little bit out of our league.
Well,
Unless you do it pro bono.
There's always opportunities. You know, sometimes just being able to help out those who are helping Freedom City might work out for my business overall.
Okay, just wanted to be
Paul Langley.
clear.
Paul Langley. He's gives you his card, and it is basically he's a civil trial attorney.
Yep. I'll like shake his hand. I'll like try to sound professional. I'm like, most people just call me Blocks.
Blocks. Great. Got it. Now you can just call me Paul. So he sits back and he kind of seems a bit sort of at a loss for what to say when Agent Grimes comes from some unknown place, probably an elevator around the corner. He's just a really stacked guy. He's got a perfectly tailored suit. Still just looks like an absolute asshole. He's got that face that just looks like something stinks, you know.
What was his name again? Sorry, it's Agent
Grimes.
Agent asshole.
Yeah. Good morning.
Let's see,
you found it.
Good morning, Agent Grimes. You look fantastic today.
Now you clean up nice as well, Gundy.
Well, we're all for shows, right?
Did you bathe the dog? He says with a sneer.
He takes care of himself.
Follow me, won't you?
Indeed.
you guys all go.
I've never seen you be such a kiss ass, Gundy.
And I actually follow him like lockstep, like you see in boot camp movies.
I was about to ask if you like matched his pace.
Yeah. Step and pace.
Why don't you just suck his dick while you're down there?
Are you saying these things out loud?
Absolutely.
This is so funny because so you're like passing the desk as you say that, and you hear them kind of snickering. Did you hear it?
I have to put my cigarette out in the trash can as we walk by, though.
Yeah. You just the burning cigarette, or do you squeeze it out first?
No,
he just throws the bird.
I squeeze it with my fingertips, like,
Okay, yeah.
and then put the half burnt one back in the pack.
Okay, yeah. So you get on an elevator, at which point he kind of pulls up his sleeve of his dress shirt and holds his wrist to a sensor, and then pushes in a code, which you feel the elevator lurch downward as opposed to up.
So can I use my phone to take a picture of him when he puts the code in?
Give me a stealth roll.
Impressive.
Also, notice check while you're on it. So yeah, two things. You're fiddling and trying to be stealthy, so you're not paying as much attention as you would, so you don't notice the situation with your phone, but you do take a picture. Absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome.
I said it out loud. I do look at my phone while we're sitting. I'm thinking about that.
Yeah.
My flip phone.
Yeah, you're sort of your flip phone is it's got that. Is it a color display or is it black and white? Monochrome.
Good. Hold on. On a one, it's that green and black.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so it's got color, but it's like 8-bit.
Okay. Yeah. It's fine. It's
And
fine.
the screen's cracked.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like $20. I'll just get another one.
Yeah, it's a burner.
It is.
Okay.
I actually wrote it down in my character sheet. It's
Yeah.
burner.
Yeah, it's like Walmart prepaid from like the 90s or whatever, late 90s. Yeah, you're fine. You don't. Well, actually, what you would know is that if it is compromised, maybe the device doesn't have a way to show you that. The privacy features that were around then weren't maybe as great.
But it doesn't have internet connection.
No, you didn't pay for that. No.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you could even do that on those phones.
Yeah, it's
No.
like some kind of like weird little Edge browser or something. But yeah, it's you're fine. You've got the safe phone.
Because if not, I was going to break it right in the elevator and put it back in my pocket.
So the elevator ride's not super long, but it's long enough that it makes you wonder just how damn deep under this building you go. Right? You probably figured you could have got to the top of the building by now. When the door opens, so the elevator door opens, and on the other side, when the sensor realizes the door's open to a certain point, heavy doors open. You're in this like really Spartan, deep grays and blacks with metal highlights for, very structured hallways with these sort of light panels. Welcome. Welcome home. He steps out. Please. You wouldn't have tried to bring guns in, right? I'm assuming because
I don't carry guns.
okay.
I
Just-
probably would have brought my taser, but
Okay. So
Oh, I take it back. I probably have my 1911.
So as you step out of the elevator, I'm assuming actually that the let's just assume that the obvious because the YouTube people will destroy us. The protections that they have at the front door are apparently compromised, and so they didn't catch this. But I'm an old man, and I just remembered. So as you step out, there's a red indicator LED that sort of rings the door, and it flashes. Are you fucking serious? He says. He turns around.
What? I have a permit.
I don't give a fuck what kind of permit you have. Surrender your weapons. You won't need them here. You're like, Mordred, do you? What about you? Your sword is magically summoned, right? So it
Yeah,
wouldn't.
it's-
Okay. So it's not like hanging at your side in a
No.
scabbard. It's big fucking.
he's got like a little pendant in the shape of a sword, and he just grabs a hold of it and prays.
Oops.
I mean, to be fair, the weapons for me are mostly for show. That's not where I do most of my damage anyway.
Yeah.
I have almost no offensive capability at all.
Grimes
Same.
says
The only
to.
time I've ever used my taser was to defeat one of their guys.
So your all of your offensive devices are taken. Your
I
your
need those
padded.
back.
You can't have my arms.
you're patted down, which is kind of like being petted, which is not too bad. Some part of you enjoys it. It's like you're
Leave
frisked.
everything in that box alone.
It's like
I have the little Faraday like box. Like
Yeah, so they
it's a
do
K-bar,
they
brass knuckles.
absolutely ask. They're like, what is all this shit in this box?
Stuff to be discussed later when I can open it in a safe location. I can tell you all about it.
Grimes,
Brought
Yeah, I
it for
brought-
show and tell.
yeah,
I
Grimes.
brought both the phones too in the Faraday bags.
Okay. Grimes speaks up and he's just like, let him through. Just the obvious bits. All right, let's go.
It's not that big of a box. It's only like this big, so I can't fit anything crazy in it.
Yeah. So you you know, like a hand grenade or anything that might fit in that box. Like a C4 charge or something. You turn left and go down this hallway. The little labs, basically, it's laboratory XYZ. It doesn't say what it's for, but it's like they're numbered, right? So it's so I suppose XYZ is a bad one, but like 204, 206 and so on. You make your way into the conference room, and it is absolutely decked out. It's got this dark wood table. There's no plants or anything in here. There's sort of this like glass strip along the wall that you think might have been like a huge display, but it seems to not be working quite right. There is there's like fancy waters set up exactly where you need to be. There's a metal water bowl on the ground for the dog. Make yourselves at home.
I start going towards the metal bowl on the ground and then correct myself and go sit
Yeah.
down. at the table.
There's another glass panel in the wall, which is sort of frosted over.
I wave at it.
So you
I
get
kinda
settled.
hop up on the chair and then hop up on the table and just kind of pace on the table.
So you do. You've got your Faraday bags all laid out and all this stuff. You kind of sit around this table. Grimes comes in. There's a woman with him as well, who you do not recognize. She's a very severe-looking character. Kind of dark hair pulled back in a tight bun. Probably about 30, but it's clear that she kind of carries herself in maybe a way that sort of suggests she might have a bit of an older soul. She comes in. She's got a tablet and, interestingly, a pad as well, like a pad of paper.
Oh.
So
So you're gonna need one of those.
So I guess we'll get introductions out of the way so we can get down to business. This is Amy Dietrich, Agent Dietrich to you. He says Agent Dietrich, and she speaks up and says, "You can call me Amy. That's fine." And she glances at him with this look that says, "Why do you always have to be such a dick?" Right? Can I get any of you some coffee, refreshments? Did you eat on the way in?
I don't need
anything.
All right.
Yes,
Well,
I will have coffee and food.
I'm sorry about him.
Yeah.
She offered.
I was wondering if you have any of those.
Out of courtesy, did you?
I can get it. You just show me where it is then.
it's fine. You have better ways to spend your time, Mr. Gundy. Anyone else? Did
Yeah,
I hear?
can I get some veggie sticks and a matcha
LaCroix.
green latte?
Of course, she says.
Kids these days.
Large frozen, no whip. Skinny.
And it's funny because she just watches you, and you're kind of being that girl right now again, right? And you're just adding things, and she's just staring at you, and she nods. She steps out for a moment. You get settled. I'll get this in the works. All right. The information we're going to be sharing here is the utmost sensitivity. I hope you all understand. So, suffice it to say that this should not be repeated. So he hits a button, and the display flickers to life and struggles, but it's kind of working. We'll see how far this gets us. So what we know is that publicly the peace summit that our heroes and villains were invited to, God, why does this sound like a fucking comic book, he says to himself, apparently was a plot on the part of Ignatius Vile. What he actually did upon the arrival of all of these individuals at this summit was, apparently, transport them through some sort of trans-dimensional portal to a place that we have no way of knowing where it is, so much as we understand where it is not. There's some advanced tracking mechanisms that two of the heroes had that tie back to massive neural networks that they ran, and those tracking facilities suggest that they have left our dimension. What's troubling, though, is slowly but surely, and he starts kind of cycling through these events, and there are these faces that you recognize, some that you don't, and it's in every case, it's like some kind of robbery or horrible event. Just within the last few weeks, they've been returning. Now, you, I suppose I owe you a compliment. You are the only ones who have actually managed to take one of the heroes down. They retain all of their powers and absolutely none of their ability to reason. It seems that the behemoth suffered a malfunction during their attempt to raid that research facility and therefore just sort of fell over. We were able to recover him. But the Crimson Clone is still out there. You would know from lore, of course, that the Crimson Clone is capable of making copies of himself. Many copies of himself at once, all of which can act in unison. He's been on the news for, kind of distant memory, having 10 of himself fighting off like Godzilla-sized lizard creatures that happen to be stomping through the park and, that kind of stuff. Just normal hero stuff. Anyway, the woman returns, having put in these orders, and he's kind of in the midst of this. And the most important thing that we all need to consider is that, she says, they're all clearly aligned in trying to further the efforts of this AI. The AI, as the screen changes, and she's got this sort of map up with all these hot spots, and it's basically the Earth, wherever the technical centers. The AI has been detected inhabiting networks in these and it's like a heat map, right? So in these areas. In some cases, it began as an easily distributed piece of malware that opened the gates, but now all of these computing sources are working together. To what end, we don't know. But we have our ideas. I am the head agent in charge of this, and she glances over at Mordred, and as she's saying this, and you're kind of, looking at her, and she's sort of, her eyes drift, and she kind of gives you this sort of like maybe flirty look. So I will be your contact in your endeavors for the Bureau. Be curious to know what you know, she says.
Oh, this is where I start. Sorry.
So you're like across the table. Yeah.
And I just kind of sit down in front of her. All right. Where to begin? Burnfinger. I forget his first name. I kind of like look over. Henry Burnfinger. Yeah. So we ran into him at a bullseye. And then the Vile Corps troopers were trying to hunt him down. And I think they were trying to either kill him or capture him. We weren't quite sure. We saved him. He had a bit of an accident. He couldn't really walk anymore. Then what? Geez. We went to save his daughter. Who was actually some surrogate like robot thing. I have like serial numbers and stuff like that. She was actually some Vile Corp parts. The whole like body was created by Vile Corp.
We have reason to believe that Burnfinger's interest in AI was part of what enabled Ignatius Vile to survive whatever event he caused. We have reason to believe that, this is going to sound strange, but I'm also talking to a talking dog. We have reason to believe that Ignatius Vile may now inhabit the body of Henry Burnfinger.
I mean, technically, it's a human in a dog's body.
I guess that makes it easier. She says, she kind of glances at you, and no offense, of course.
It's something Henry had already done. He'd uploaded his daughter's consciousness into some AI core he stole.
Yes, that is what happened. So in your exploits, obviously, I could reconstruct most of the events that you discussed from the various news articles and blog posts, but I'm curious if there's information that you've come across. What is this technology? What are these crystals?
So they're actually some sort of like nanite that
Is it alien? She says.
I don't know. I've never seen it before.
Hey, Blocks.
Yes.
Can I see your phone for a second? No, I'm not going to throw it. I'm not going to throw it. I promise you get it back.
She'll hand it to her.
Okay.
I'm going to check it to see if it's out, sending stuff out.
Okay. So, give me, what do we use for that before?
I think it was smarts.
Yeah, we'll just use smarts. That's fine. Oh, yeah.
Ooh-ah.
Yeah, and it's funny. You open it and like she was about to make some kind of post on Instagram, and it was super, or like a tweet or something, and it's like the most perfectly sarcastic thing ever. You almost feel bad navigating away from it. But yeah, it absolutely is. This phone's a little bit of a different model, so it takes you a second, but you're like, huh, yeah, the privacy, the privacy flags are there.
Right. So it is a like nanite, some sort of. I don't know. They kind of like vibrate at their own resonance, and so I was thinking if we found.
Hold on a second, Red. This is right. Like right, you get right into that. That's right. I was letting you talk about it. I like. I feel safer. You got that little Faraday box with you?
Yeah, it's right there on the table.
Can we?
That's like right here.
Everybody's cell phones into it because they're sending information out right now.
Well, you heard the man, and I look at both of them.
So
Turn it over. Blocks, is it okay?
That's fine.
So Agent Dietrich looks at her phone, thumbs around for a moment. Huh. She just shuts it down.
Sometimes when you turn them off, they're still transmitting, ma'am.
Grimes, shut your phone down. Call someone from IT. These are supposed to be hardened. Yeah, supposed to be. Fucking nerds. He gets. He goes, So, Faraday box? You travel with a Faraday box?
Well, actually, the
It's
Faraday
handy
box
for
is
things like this.
real new to us. Like we found this cell phone. As I'm putting the other phones in the Faraday box, I'll show them the cell phone that has the crystal.
The weird
I just
crystal
break
contraption. Yeah.
There's 2 phones in there now, Rocket, because remember I cloned it.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask you for let's give it a 1 in, say, 1 in 10 chance that you're going to, because I said it was fragile, right? So you throw in phones in there on top of it. So 1 in 10 chance that you hit it and maybe you have to
I wouldn't
rebuild
just
it.
throw them in there. I didn't.
We've got it
You're
like in
good.
a plastic. We put it in like a plastic box,
Okay.
so that way it's protected.
One of those static resistant bags
So-
that you get your computer parts in.
Agent Dietrich actually puts her phone in there.
I can dig up an old pager in the pile of junk.
Yeah.
Way back.
That's it.
So then I'll actually begin to pull out some of the crystal samples we've collected, the different sizes, and have been doing different things with.
Okay.
Like the one that was in the case that we got from the bank. It was the biggest sample I'm assuming we have. The crystal.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. The large. Yeah.
And then we have this one that was inside of tungsten, which we learned is the. I think Spectral Vendor told us about this, that they're actually still alive in there.
Mm-hmm.
This is just suppressing their consciousness in some way.
That was our experience, and that's actually a good segue. She says. So she hits a control, and one of the screens turns on, and it's essentially like CCTV view, right? It's like an interrogation room camera, and this massive thing is sitting in this cell. It makes the bed look tiny. It makes it look like Andre the Giant sitting on a dog bed. and he's just kind of hunched over, and he's sitting there, and he kind of glances up, and Dietrich basically is like, Howard, are you there? And he basically speaks up and, yes, ma'am, I'm here. He's got this kind of big, huge, bloated lips. Can you see us? Yeah. Is that a dog?
Well,
Yeah.
yes.
It's a talking dog.
Yes.
He says. So his muscles kind of, he must be like squeezing his hands because you see his sort of shoulder muscles ripple. I like dogs. And he's staring at the
Nice.
camera. Yeah, you're like, nice.
Nice.
So Howard had apparently a malfunction in the connection between these, the apparatus and his cerebral cortex. It caused a bit of a backlash and with side effects similar to those of a stroke. They said I had a stroke, he says. Yes, Howard. She clearly hits mute. It seems that certain intellectual capabilities are required for the integration to be as effective as it should. And she unmutes, nodding. I want to know where Cloney went, he says.
I pressed the mute button. Is it him in there? Are you sure it's still him? Or is
Well-
it like,
Can you poke
how do
around
we
his gray
know?
matter, Donovan?
Probably not from here.
We could get you close to him. He's only a few levels down, she says. We just thought
I feel
this
like
might
that's
be
a
a
great
little,
place to start.
this might be a little less disconcerting. He is quite dangerous, well, he shows signs of slow recovery, shall we say. I would worry that if this were to wear off, that we don't have facilities that could hold him.
I would just hate to make progress for him to not be him.
Agreed. His memories seem to be of shortly before he left for the summit. So he's not
That's
particularly...
quite unhelpful.
Well, this is true.
This is where Gundy kind of sits upright and starts acting nervous. Because that's kind of that's how he feels too.
But if we do have the knowledge of whether it is him, we can possibly, I'm working on a theory to change the resonant frequency of the stone with some sort of vibration machine. Think of like a paint mixer that will shake the stone very fast to possibly change the frequency or either destroy or I don't quite know yet. We're theories.
Hmm. Interesting. So, would you like to interview him more directly? If
Yes.
proximity is a concern. I love that it looks like the
It would
cat's
help.
standing on your head, Tyler. It's funny. Fine. Let me get some security badges. Access to that facility is restricted. Your snacks come, and Grimes returns with
I can stay here to eat.
yeah, with a couple of
He's like, I'll stay here.
a couple of IT guys, and starts.
Well, I need at least Donovan.
They're going to take a look at your phones, he says.
I'll help.
All right. Just set up in here. We don't need them wandering around. And they're like, all right. And so they said just two, kind of run-of-the-mill IT guys. I don't even know what that means. It's probably, like two guys that look exactly like James, just like rolling, like literally, like, hi.
How generic, James.
James and Eric. Like James and Eric literally walk in the room and start with him.
Perfect.
Yeah, there's your cameo.
And there's Thorg actually trying to smash his fingers on the.
Yeah. So, Amy returns. Agent Dietrich returns with some sort of security card, and accompanies. Who's going? The Ghost.
I'll go.
Okay, Mordred, Rocket, Blocks. You going?
I'd feel better if Mordred was there.
I'm gonna stay here with the IT guys to make sure they're not doing any dumb shit.
Okay. So they actually ask you a whole lot of questions, like, "Hey, when was the last time you did an update? What's going on here? This is really weird."
Have you
My phone's-
rebooted 3 times?
Yeah.
My phone's a flip phone.
Yeah. They actually plug it into a forensics computer, and start messing around. And I'll let you know what they find in a minute. So you go down. You stay up there, Gundy, as well.
Yeah.
So the camera is on this room, so you can't really see what they might see, but you're brought down to like sort of a two-way mirror kind of situation. So, do you feel safe going in? He's fairly docile at this point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
So as you
I just need to see him.
you get in there. So they go, and obviously security's heavy. Just think about like the ultimate sci-fi security measures as you go in, kind of, retinal scans and the security card to match and all this sort of, thing. You go in and you realize now that he's seated on what looks to be, it's a wheelchair because he's paralyzed, but they've basically had to like kind of jury rig it to provide enough of a flat surface to hold his girth. So it's more like, picture like me sitting on a roller skate. It's kind of the vibe, right? you walk in, it's like, so he kind of, I don't know you. Hi, he says. I'm Howard.
Hi.
Oh, you the dog. Hi. He reaches down, and you're a corgi. His hand literally just could cover you like your hand would cover a hamster. As he's just like literally huge thing in here. Can I pet you? He says.
Yeah.
Won't hurt you. He picks you up by your little robot arm.
Oh, please let go of the arm. Please let go of the arm. Please don't break the arm.
Sorry. I'm sorry. He's paralyzed from the waist down, right? He's, what are you doing in here, little buddy? And he kind of glances up. Make a spirit. Somebody make a spirit roll. He's got a D6.
When you guys rolling there?
Yeah. Okay. 5. Nice. Okay. So he glances up and he sees, and he kind of rubs. You notice with his one hand that doesn't seem to have quite as much sort of finger movement, but he rubs his eye with the heel of his hand. And he's, am I seeing things or is that a ghost? Hey, dog, you see that?
Yeah, he's a ghost.
Cool.
He's our friend.
You dead?
That's what they tell me.
Sorry.
Me too.
Just know it could always be worse. It could be a ghost.
Or a dog.
Or a ghost dog.
Yeah. So, when are you guys letting me out of here, huh?
Donovan, by the way, pleased to meet you.
Yeah. Howard. Never met a ghost before.
Rocket.
Rocket, huh? Oh, I see the name tag. That's funny.
It's got like a little like red rocket that's like blasting off a little trail of fire and smoke behind it.
So, did the test come back yet?
I believe we're still working on it.
I gotta get out of here.
What do you have to do?
I gotta find Clone.
Why do you have to find Clone?
What do you mean? He's my partner. I gotta find him.
Did they work together previously, like in like actual as heroes?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
okay.
Mm-hmm. Like I heard all kinds of stories that Power Guy is gone, and like they're just all gone. All I can remember is getting on the transport, and then something smelled funny. You ever smell one of those smells you can't quite put your finger on it, but
absolutely. Can you tell me more about it? Was it floral? Did it have
floral? No, it was I don't know, like cleaner or paint thinner or it could have been kerosene. No, not kerosene. It was maybe like what's that? Super glue maybe. It was something like it was something like that. It was very. Am I making sense or no? He says.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I just remember getting lightheaded and yeah, that's it.
How does your head feel?
Huh?
How does your head feel
Oh, you mean
right now?
And he points to like where the sockets were.
Oh, did they take the crystals out?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that. Didn't know they took them all out.
They said that I had something that burrowed in, and it let go when it stopped working. It was like they said it was mind control, which, that's, I don't know about that, but I don't think I hurt anybody or anything. Saw a video where I was smashing through some walls. Reckon I'll have to pay for that probably.
Yeah, I'm sure they can get you a good lawyer.
While they're talking, I'm going to reach out telepathically, see if I get the same sense from him that I was getting from Tungsten when I tried to control his mind.
Okay. Give me a D4 roll for his smarts. I'll let you guys roll that. And then he says, I'm a lawyer. He's supposed to be meeting me here later, just after lunch.
I got a 3 for him.
Okay. You connect without a problem. Sort of like the sensation normally of a sharp intellect is in some cases it's maybe even beyond what you had when you were living. It's like this awakening. In this case, it's more like somebody throws a wet towel over your consciousness. You sense hunger and fear. It's managed fear, but he's very nervous.
But definitely not the same trapped sensation that I got from the other guy.
No. Yeah, there's no facade there that you can detect. Although, I mean, this isn't exactly your specialty either, right? So
no,
yeah.
So I'm going to hang on for a little while they keep talking.
You notice his thoughts seem to wander. Rocket, as you're in his brain. It's like he's like.
So I'll try to do some I'm sure they probably tried this, some like memory techniques, stuff like that. I'm sure I had some of the same experience when I got transported into a dog body.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's actually a good idea.
So I want to try to help him remember, walk through that process.
Let's have a persuasion roll. Let's use that.
Wild die will do it.
This is hard because he doesn't have it doesn't seem like he's really on top of his facts, but I mean, I just remembered feeling weak and passing out. My last thought was that Clone would handle it.
Who was beside you?
Well, it was just one of him at that time because we were just riding. So yeah, it was just Clone. Power Guy, I think, was flying in on his own. There was Lizard Head, and he names off a few other just utterly ridiculous super. You're like, what the fuck, Lizard Head? I never saw. Yeah, his series was discontinued after second issue.
And I just try to walk through a couple more experiences about what's going on. Like, what were the seats made of? How did it feel?
If you spend a Benny, I'll give you one more shot.
Absolutely.
But you got to ace it.
I spend a Benny to re-roll it.
You can. Yep.
Okay.
That's what the rules say. Damn it. Nope. So it was kind of cold. And they just don't make transports for big guy like me.
Oh yeah, they don't make them small enough for me either.
Yeah, right. It's bullshit, really. But I know it's real cold, and then I just remember going to sleep. Look, hey, little buddy, I'm really sorry. I wish I could remember.
It's okay.
Next thing is lights. Like when they were taking them them crystals out of my head. I was coming to, and I just somehow felt far away. But then I was here, and I can't move my legs.
It's okay. They have therapy and stuff for that. Hopefully, if we get some positive tests back, we can help you out.
That's what Doc was saying. I mean, I got my arms back when I first came to. I couldn't move a bit. I couldn't even talk, and it's been coming back. And he makes a fist, and you hear his knuckles crack, and it's like this.
Ooh, you see, like my whole body shudder.
If I get my hands on whoever's doing this, they're gonna pay. And he says that, and the bass in his voice like kind of distorts the speakers upstairs. You guys are watching this while you're eating your salad. This is a good segue. Coming back to the cell phones. So they're running diagnostics. This is weird, says Eric. Look at this, James. And James like, what? Oh, weird. Is that running as a really? What package is that part of? And so they dig in, and what they realize is that apparently a recent update from the manufacturer, like Apple or Samsung or whatever, has pushed some service that is actively transmitting audio, occasional video, especially when the camera's on.
It's too real, man.
Yeah, cache data from all of the apps. And that service is set, it has a payload that you can't quite, Eric, you can't get to it. You just can't quite, but there's something else there that's really bothering you. Like there's a latent function that's present in the package. So this was all pushed by the manufacturer and therefore has bypassed all of the usual safeguards. And it's present on all the phones, including James's and Eric's, that are different manufacturers as well. This is everywhere.
Check my phone. I don't have any apps or anything on this thing.
That's a phone? What is that?
Safer than yours.
Oh, man. He looks at the bottom, like the kind of connector, and he's like, we have one of these in the lab? Yeah, probably in that bottom drawer. Yeah.
I pull one out of my front pocket.
Yeah, he connects it in. He runs an analysis. It takes him a few minutes, and he's like, God, you got to download a driver to be able to connect to it. It's like this whole thing. And meanwhile, you're watching that conversation flow. The last time this phone got an update was like 10 years ago.
It was probably the 90s when I first bought it.
So yeah,
it tells you how old that phone is. Because what year are we in?
This is like 2030 something.
Yeah. How many years ago did the incident happen with the heroes?
I don't remember what I told you, but I'm going to say it was last.
It's been about 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah, something like that. It's about let's say call it 5 years. Long enough that the things have started to decay and decline, but not long enough that things have normalized. Yeah.
When he starts talking about the smell, can I name it?
Give me a science check. You're sitting there and you're like,
well, I would have smelt it because even though I was there, I didn't get poofed.
You were there where? Oh, in the lab.
When everybody
no, it was days later. To be clear, it was after you left when he came. Yes.
Okay.
They were showing subsequent video of the facility.
No. I meant like when all of the heroes disappeared. When Vile and them.
Oh.
He said he smelt burnt or chemical.
It was on the transport.
Okay, so then I didn't know if that was like a common thing for everybody that got.
No. It was like on the transport. Best you can tell, they gassed him.
Okay.
To bring him down, probably, which is smart. But with a science check, I'd let you guess at it, which I'm gonna just probably overly generalize anyway because I don't really know my Hulk knocking out chemical compounds.
I mean, this will be an unskilled. So I wouldn't roll high enough. I don't think.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Well, wild die.
Wild die saved you.
So you're just like, man, I got a tank of that that of that laughing gas once. I wonder if it was something like that kind of thing. You're like, yeah.
I probably had some of the trailer.
Yeah, you do. That's how you sleep through the tremors.
Actually, I was gonna say for the animals when they like step on a nail or something, I gotta work on them.
Yeah. All right. So what do you guys do? So you've got cell phones that are infected with some sort of service, and immediately these guys start looking on their devices. They both have their laptops there. One of the two of them has a similar service running that came down with a Windows 25 update. The other one is laughing because he runs a variant of Linux that was apparently impervious, and then they launch off into an argument about that. But yeah, so it seems that this is pervasive. Is the concern?
This is why I don't use smartphones.
Because you're not smart.
Blocks,
a dumb phone. And
Blocks, you're downstairs, right?
This is where I hand you a note after you guys were talking about changing the frequency on those crystals, and I'm starting to calculate out like harmonic oscillator frequencies.
Yeah. So I was wondering, actually, Gundy, because like, so don't like bees and like birds and stuff, they use like harmonic frequencies in their like different things to communicate.
Insects definitely do, yeah.
I wonder if we can we multiply that or something, or like broadcast it? Like, what if we do you have any like audio clips of that we could like boost and overpower, or maybe put it on an amplifier and hook it to like a megaphone?
I mean, I could
make a portable gun.
Even if we didn't, I could, I mean, talk to the bees and we can record them.
Hey, you guys, yell real quick.
Yeah. Start vibrating.
So, what do you guys? The big guys like, I'm feeling kind of tired, hungry. You still connected to his brain?
I was, but I think I can let go.
Yeah, and you're not capable of reading thoughts, right? It's just a matter of when you connected to them before there was that clear facade, right?
Yes,
Okay.
There was the whole, when I tried to control him before, I got that whole help me, and it was pretty obvious that the mind that I was communicating with was not in control of the
Yeah.
person we were facing.
Yep. Okay. Well, hey, maybe we can hang out when I get out of here and everything gets straightened out. You know, Clone, he's got Rottweilers. He might be friends.
Does he ever get in a fight with who's the original amongst themselves?
You asking him that?
Yeah.
I never thought of that. Weirdest thing. They all just run around, and it's real bad when you're doing team sports. I mean, it kind of shits me, man. You think you're tackling the right one, and next thing you know, there's three others. I can always get him, though, little bastard. No.
Hey, Blocks. Wonder what dates are like with him.
I don't know. Why do you want to go on one with him?
He kind of stares off into space for a moment. Now.
I mean, if your Tinder is that slow, I suppose.
What's it? Fire starting material? What?
Mm-hmm.
Forget it.
So as the conversation drifts, Amy leans in, Agent Dietrich, and just hits the hang up button. Could we at least pretend that we graduated high school? She looks over at Gundy, not at Blocks. She looks
I'm
over at
surprised
Gundy.
she didn't come with us.
I'm sorry. You're right. Damn it. I was just yes.
Whoever was there said
Glitch
that.
in the Matrix. Yeah. That.
Grimes.
I
is the one
think
talking.
Eric says that. I think Eric says that.
Well, I might not have a fancy education.
That's not the point. You don't want to agitate him. I heard he
He
started. I heard he started to be able to use his limbs.
We were muted on our side.
Oh, okay. Then how are you talking to Blocks? Because Blocks is downstairs, isn't she? Didn't you say you
No,
went
Blocks
downstairs?
Block
upstairs.
stayed with me.
Jesus
Fox and
Christ,
Gandhi stayed in the room.
Game Master, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay,
That's all good.
I got it.
I mean,
That's what maps
the
help
cutting
for.
jibe worked fine regardless.
Yeah.
Mordred or Spectre Avenger, you guys have any questions for him?
Nope. We're just gonna hope they get a decent lunch here for him soon, and his lawyer can help him out.
Well, it was great to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Buddy.
Hopefully we'll talk some more.
Yeah, hopefully so. He reaches down. He goes, "All right, don't get mad at me, but I gotta say it. Shake, huh?"
I laugh and my little robotic arm.
Yeah,
chases me.
yeah, he's this is big. Okay, so you leave him down there, and he kind of leans back after shaking your hand, and you hear the kind of chair straining under his weight. Dietrich locks the door, all the stuff, makes sure security's back. That didn't seem particularly fruitful, she says, disappointed.
Well,
As best
kinda
I
look
can
at-
tell, it was him.
Well, that's good.
What do you mean? She says.
When I touched Tungsten's mind, it was obvious that he was not in control of himself, and I was touching the mind of somebody who was trapped.
So like a Trojan taking
Yes. The crystal is in some way taking over the mind or allowing it to be controlled by somebody else.
Taking over the body, I think, not the mind. Mind was still there, but it
Yes.
was trapped inside itself with no ability to exert any influence on the outside world.
And as you're kind of riding back up in the elevator, the brain scan suggested that the damage was minimal. It seems that whatever apparatus was there, it was able to sort of be extracted once the crystals were, I guess as you say, dead. Malfunctioned.
Well, we have Tungsten's corpse at my laboratory.
You what? She says, you what? That might have been an interesting. Why wouldn't you not have shared that before? She's
I
kind of.
didn't know that it was worth speaking to you.
You're in the possession of criminal evidence.
Yeah, law. Haha.
We're
Let's
likely
not
in the
pretend like that
possession-
is like the real matters that are at hand. We're trying to save heroes and all not die.
All right, fine.
Let's-
So what have you
We're
found
likely
out?
in the possession of quite a bit of evidence, and we're willing to share it. Are we not?
Yes. Yeah.
So this is as they're coming in. You hear these sort of blah 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 evidence. You hear the very tail end of the conversation as they come back into the conference room, and she sort of gets the
Yes,
download
that's
from
why I
you.
brought this little box today, was to show you some of what we had.
All right, fine. So you go through the process of sort of showing, and with that, we have gone on long enough. So I'm gonna end the stream here with the following to think about. So you kind of show and tell. They have some things to show as well. It's all around these these sort of weird nanite things. She assigns the IT people to go off since they have a copy of this malware basically running on one of their own laptops, which she's very distressed about. Doesn't fully understand it, you can tell, but sends them off to get more information. She explains this so you can think about it. The research facility that was compromised was doing some rather important work around computer-to-brain interfaces. Some very specific equipment was stolen. Our brain scans reveal that some of that equipment is remarkably similar to what remains in Howard's head, and very likely, Rocket, what you will find in Tungsten's as well. There are 2 other such research facilities. One of them is in Sweden and remains intact. The other one was shut down, and its various inventory is now unaccounted for. We believe that it might have been purchased by VileCorp in a bit of a sell-off. So if you start to dig into the reality here, that initial load of inventory may well have been what is coming back to visit us through these portals. We need to secure the rest of that inventory because it's not small. The automated factories apparently produced quite a few units, she says. 250,000 of them.
That's a lot.
And with that, we will end the stream well prepared to go attack a research facility.
Just like MK Ultra.
Yeah, exactly right. MK Ultra. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out on this fine Sunday. We're getting this show back on the road, so we'll see you in a couple weeks. Yeah, get back into some superhero stuff.
Oh.